Welcome back to another episode. Happy Saturday, guys. Thank you guys for being here. We have a packed show for you guys tonight. We got a lot to talk about. And we have a, I don't know what you want to call it, Jay, but let's say hello to the panel first, and then we'll get into it. Jay, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being here tonight.
Hello.
William, how are you, my friend? Welcome. So, Jay, what do you call what's going on tonight on your end? I don't know if you want to call it an unboxing, which you already did. I don't know.
Just a review.
All right, so we're gonna.
My Gandalf figure finally came in, and I figure if you guys want an in-art review, this is the channel to come to, obviously.
Absolutely.
So,
no, literally. Absolutely.
But no, I got the thing yesterday finally, and Fabs and I were talking about it, and I said I'll show it on the show and show the goods and bads that came along with mine, and then people can make up their own mind. I mean, I'm probably the last person to show you anything because this thing's been out so long, but why not, right?
And what you said is very true, because you know, guys, that a lot of people, every other YouTuber, every other channel pretty much is very close to in-art. They all stream with them. They all support the company, right? And obviously, as you can see, Joker J does too. But we don't benefit from lying to you, right? We don't have John from in-art on our stream. We don't. I personally don't deal with in-art whatsoever. I've streamed with John on other people's streams, a long time ago, and that's the extent of my involvement with in-art. You guys know I don't have them. I never asked for them to be on my stream because I know what it is. So this is why I tell you guys, we have no reason to lie to you about anything, because who cares, right? What do I get out of lying to you about in-art? Nothing. What do I get about lying to you guys about Hot Toys? Nothing. So there's no reason to lie about anything to anybody, What is that, William?
It's the Mego that I was talking about last stream. The one from
wait, is that like a cloth outfit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Now see, when I was driving when you were talking about that, and I was like, yes, the freaking Migos. Somebody made a comment about that, like this Spider-Man figure is bad because it looks like that, and I'm like, I love those things. I had them when I was a little kid. They are what they are. They're indicative of their time. They're not supposed to be like a modern day 6-scale figure. They were from the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
the date on his back says 1978. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like those things were great. So I'll gladly take a Spider-Man that looks like that. I don't care.
What was the year, William? 1974?
Yeah.
That's the year you were born, I believe, right?
I was born.
I was -10.
We got Uncarded in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you. How you doing? I'm veteran, always late. Must have gotten delayed at the Golden Corral buffet. You know what's funny? I've seen those commercials forever, and I've never seen an actual location for these restaurants ever. But thank you for being here, my friend. As always, we got Luch in the house. Balancer.com. It says, "What up? What up? My 1/6 future acolyte collectors. Here's the Fabby that hates the show, but will buy just to buy on the figures."
Did you know that Luch got engaged a couple weeks back?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I bought him the ring, so yes.
I doubt that.
Well, he asked for help, and I said, "Do it yourself."
He got engaged in Mexico.
Yeah.
Joni, so now he's going to be Chachi. I told Luch I would give him a shout out on the stream. So Joni loves Chachi.
That's awesome.
Chachi. Yeah, no, he got engaged. He lost his virginity. He's a man now. Unbelievable.
Wait, he had premarital sex?
Well, he had to wait until the engagement. She was like, absolutely not. So he was. That's what.
Marriage. You're
well,
going to heaven, all of you.
Well,
that explains the Fisons.
Well, I was just gonna say, think about it. Think about it. Why do you think he has to deal with Fisons before he was engaged? Now you notice he's not around anymore because he's a man now. See, we got Paul in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you.
Hello.
We got Commander Green. We got Harold in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being TikTok. You're on the clock, Fab. Happy Saturday, everybody. And I'm happy to finally have Dooku on him. Yeah, I know. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Let's see who we got. Ryan in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. How are you doing?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Man, we got Caleb in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. What's up, everyone? What's up to Fab haters that be lurking and mad that this guy, unbelievable. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. We got this for you. Let's see who else is in the house. Thank you guys for being here as well. As always, we got the Thor in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
I love that clip already. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Thule in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
This is gonna be great. Let's see. We got Thule in the house. Yes, guys, there's 21 of you guys. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. Thank you guys for being here as well. We got Rudy in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
What happened?
That's like a sniper, that one.
I know, that was perfect. We got the Nightmare in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Let's see who else is in here before we get started. Oh my God, you guys are on fire already.
Oh,
We got Black Panther in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
I heard that Fabs is the reason I want to make the black suit Spider-Man. Imagine if I had that type of pull. It's like whatever I wanted, they would make.
That'd be nice.
They would call me the Hot Toys peasant. Let's see. Who else
They already call you.
I know. We got Derek in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Hello. Let's see. We got Albert in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. We haven't seen in our vet would never be late. Imagine.
You'd fall apart on the way there. That Batman makes a lot more sense now. You know?
Oh, Jay.
How dare you?
I don't lie, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God. I think you're being biased. We got Bobo in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here too.
How you doing?
There you go.
We got, let's see. We got Derek. We got Derek twice. No, we got Derek. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. I thought I said hello to Derek already. Again, I'll say it again.
It's so nice.
Caleb says, I think Fab's like seeing us waiting for him. It's a diabolical. No, we were backstage setting up. I apologize, guys. GVL, welcome.
That's Gina. That's Gina.
Oh, nice to see you. Welcome.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
Thank you for being here, Gina. Nice to see you. We got Leo in the house. Thank you for being here, my friend. Welcome. We got, let's see. Oh, waiting on pre-order and Fabs the usual. Thanks for the good word. Fab's about to surprise us with J&D 101 Hermione. First look, imagine. Oh my God, I would never disappoint you guys like that.
Yeah.
We got the villain tonight. Imagine. You go to a store to buy hot toys. You're in line to pay for the two you want. There's someone in front of you, and he asks, "Where's the 8-art?" Owner slams his hands down and says, "No collection for you."
No soup for you.
Imagine, that's great.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Welcome, Gina. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
Let's see. Congratulations on Gandalf. Just watch out on that. Oh, there you go. Do you have anything to say about that?
So far he hasn't fallen over, but I haven't tried to pose him. He's just standing straight up and down. So we'll see.
Well, you ended up buying the modified base, didn't you? Just before you ordered that, or no?
I don't know. I haven't taken the bottom off it.
Oh,
I just stuck the figure on, and it's got a nice pull. His ankles aren't weak. He's been sitting up all night on it. I'm moving him right now. He's not falling over, so I'm pretty good.
Where did you order it from that it just now got there?
Spec. I got tracking 45 days ago, and they were like, "Oh, your Gandalf ship." So after 3 days, I go, "Hey, the tracking hasn't moved." He goes, "That's because it's on a boat. It takes about 30 days to get here." And then when I got here, it took like another week to get across the country. I was like, "What is the point?" But I got in on it late, so that's on me. They lived up to their end.
There's that.
What?
Huh?
It came.
Yeah, it came. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's a win.
it got here, so I'm happy.
That's a win.
We got Big Dog in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Head sculpt is stunning on that Gandalf. Absolutely. That's what I said immediately. That thing is a 10 all day long. We got Chris in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you? To see you. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. We got Chris in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Argentina goal. Oh, what is it? 1-0? I was watching. Yep, there we go. 1-0. I thought so. I was watching it a little while ago, and they were tied. So we got Ernesto in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Let's see. Fabs UFC 303 and Pereira and Jerry. Oh, I know Pereira. I don't know Jerry. We got Polo in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Let's see. Thanks, everyone, but I'm still this guy. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just be cautious, Joker. The magnets slowly pull on figure over time and may eventually fall over. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So AKA, don't use that base. You know?
Yeah, I might have to make a modification.
So let's get started, guys. So like I said, we got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we got the little pop-up Deadpool. I wouldn't call it a celebration, but they're showing off the Deadpool, as you can see here already. Obviously, we know that there are 2 SKUs for the Wolverine. They're showing you the first SKU, obviously, the one with no head sculpt. As you can see, Deadpool also is very plain. As you may already know, this is not the full figure. Obviously, like I said, if we're getting 2 SKUs for this, there's no way we're getting 1 for this, most likely 2 as well. So, William, let's start with you. How do you feel about the Deadpool? Does it look any different than the other 2 we've gotten? Do you see any major differences just from this picture, since I believe it's the only picture we've got?
I don't particularly see anything different. Maybe those pistols are the larger than what he had before.
Maybe die-cast?
Maybe, but it's like without actually being able to like zoom in all the way on the material or do like a side-by-side comparison of, Deadpool 1 versus Deadpool 2, because there was obviously a slight upgrade in the material between those because of Deadpool 1 flaking horribly for almost everyone. So, theoretically, they've upgraded the suit to even better material, you would hope. But, I'm really hoping that this one comes with ball sack head sculpt for Wade Wilson.
Yes.
I hope it's called that.
What's that?
I hope it's called that on the box.
Looks like a burnt scrotum, like the Tom Holland one with the Spider-Man mask pulled up just to his eyes. If he had Deadpool with the mask pulled up,
yes, that would be sick.
Those would be, fun ways to pose that would differentiate this figure from previous ones.
Right.
Because if they don't do a head sculpt and they pull a curveball on you and what you see right there is all that you get, then that would be hilarious. But and it would probably sell because Deadpool, 1 and 2, both of those figures are, long gone. But with this, I'm sure it will at least come with Dogpool.
That's definitely a must, that dog.
Because I have Squirrel Pool. From which one does that one come with? The zombie one?
Comes with what?
The zombie Deadpool came with Squirrel Pool?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the sideshow. The sideshow one came with the squirrel. The zombie one, I believe so too. I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yep. I just bought the squirrel by itself.
Yeah, the Hot Toys, the Deadpool 2 Deadpool came with that. And then the sideshow one as well, I believe, or maybe I'm confusing them. But, one of them did come with it.
But with Dogpool being so heavily featured in the trailers and whatnot, you would think that it would come with Deadpool.
Tully says, I honestly don't see much of a difference between the previous suit and this one. Yet again, I'm a casual, not a real collector. So the differences I did notice were, number one, the tone of the color, right? The tones were different. I believe the Deadpool 2 was more maroonish, right? A little bit darker tone. The Deadpool 1 was very bright red. And I believe that the Deadpool 3 suit is also brighter than the Deadpool 2 suit. Also, the knee pads on the Deadpool 3 figure look more like the Deadpool 1 figure than the Deadpool 2 figure. Jay, tell us how you feel about this and what you expect from it.
Well, I don't have a Deadpool, so whatever they do, I hope it works out well. I heard about the suits flaking. I had other things I wanted to get, and then he just was one of those figures that kind of got put on the back burner, and I never revisited it. And then they're coming out with another movie, so I'm like, all right, now's my chance to get involved in that game. I can either go back and get something older that people are looking to offload, or I can pick up the new one, or both. I like having options like that. Again, without seeing this thing up close, I don't know what to make of it. I think if I trust Hot Toys, whatever they give us on screen, we've seen what's on screen. This is going to resemble that. It's going to be great. Now, if they don't give us a head sculpt, what are we going to expect in terms of accessories? Maybe they put the money into that. Like, right. How many different, whatever pools there are. There's a squirrel pool. I didn't even know there's a squirrel pool. What the hell's a squirrel pool? But I saw the dog on the on that one picture I shared with you guys before. So maybe we can expect to see him. You know what I mean? If we don't get a head sculpt, or it'd be great with swap out, like Will said, with the half mask, but would swap out face plates as well, not just a whole separate sculpt. You know what I mean? That would be cool.
It's kind of rude of you to request something so difficult from Hot Toys when you didn't even request anything from InArt. So I think you gotta slow down with the demands. But no, that's a great point. I think, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, do you think that they're going to do the same thing with Deadpool as they did with Wolverine? 2 SKUs, one just regular Deadpool, and then the second with the head sculpt?
Well, maybe not the head sculpt, but I think we're going to get two something. Look, the money that this movie is going to make, if they're going to go deep on a line, I think this is a line they're going to go deep on. They have nothing else Marvel going on right now. It's going to be all in on this. I think we're going to get multiple Wolverines after this. We're going to get variants. They're talking about who's the lady Wolverine. Maybe seeing her.
X-23.
X-23. I know people would be happy about that. Lady Deadpool. Yes. Different versions of Deadpool. I don't see why we wouldn't get
Colossus. I think Colossus is coming. Sabretooth. That's right. Sabretooth.
We're getting Sabretooth.
Blade 3.
See what I'm saying? Like, we're just scratching the surface on this movie.
Yes.
It's coming. So I'm ready for all of it. Because I'm not deep on this type of line. Like, I don't have a lot of these characters. So I'm ready for him,
Yeah, Rudy's not big, he's more infamous, more ADD toys. He doesn't really, with Marvel, he's not so big on. He likes mostly like the old school Disney stuff, Mickey, Minnie, Donald. William, so William, so question for you. How do you think they're going to make this, skew wise? Do you think they're going to do one, or do you think they're going to do two as well? Like the Wolverine.
Like I said, they should do multiple skews, so you can do the Deadpool by himself and then have the head sculpt with the other one. But Wolverine has had multiple skews in the past, like 73, regular deluxe, all these other ones. Deadpool has always just had the one skew, even though those movies were the most successful rated R movies up to those points each time. This one being, combining other franchises into this one for, still another rated R movie. I know that in the eyes of marketing and merchandising, that does limit you a little bit, because the average 10-year-old can't go and see a rated R movie by themselves. They have to have an adult, so they don't always produce as many collectibles and stuff like that for things that aren't necessarily aimed toward children. But even though Hot Toys isn't aimed toward children,
13 and up.
Yeah,
So what do you think would be a reasonable line, given that this is going to be a pretty big movie, but it is also rated R? Would you say five characters deep? Not separate into like 2-packs, but like 5 characters.
I think that's a fair number. What do you think, William?
Honestly, I kind of think they're just going to do Deadpool and Wolverine.
Really?
No way. You really believe that? Again, we've talked about this before. You being on the panel, we've talked about the magnitude of this movie. We've talked about how big it's supposed to be, what their goal is with this movie. The fact that it's a multiverse, travel movie.
Yeah, and you have Avatar, the highest grossing movie of all time with one figure, and then Avatar 2, which is now like the 3rd or 4th highest grossing with 2 figures.
Yeah, but you have to understand that just because a movie is a big deal, money maker. When have you seen Avatar before the very first movie? Never. Who knew about Avatar before that first movie? Nobody.
Well,
so that's a huge difference.
Original.
But
it was an original concept, but you're saying
correct. But my point is exactly my point. Before the first movie, there was no Avatar.
Marvel's legacy runs generations.
Thank you. That's where I was headed. Period.
Right, but the fact that you've had multiple versions of these figures already, and how they haven't gone too deep in any of the lines that they've done from any of the recent Marvel phases. If from all besides Spider-Man, which, Sony Marvel notwithstanding, if you look at each of the other ones, whether they were, you either got 0 figures or 2 if you were lucky.
But they were also not big movers of viewership or anything like that, right? You're talking about like the Captain Marvel and the Marvels and
all the current phase stuff since phase 4, yes.
Yeah, like Loki and whatnot.
Black Panther.
I don't know. You make a good point, but I don't see it, man. This year they need an influx of money, and this is a big money maker right now.
Right.
Yeah, but they've also just been switching gears back to Star Wars, and Marvel's slowed down a little bit for the Hot Toy side.
Correct.
That's the thing. They do Hot Toys type things, so it's like you really don't, Yeah, it's a good enough argument for sure.
It's if they do more than the 2, it'll be exciting, but it's gonna be maybe if they do the limited numbers of them like they did with some of the others, like do the Tyler Mane Sabretooth and there's only 2,000 of them worldwide, something like that would be a way to ensure that those ancillary characters actually sell, because let's do Lady Deathstrike from X-Men 2 who's in the trailer, and it's like there's going to be a couple people that'll be like, oh, that could be fun, and then some people, you'll see the why would we want that?
Right. Who asked for this crew?
Also,
Let me say hello to Cassandra real quick.
Yeah,
Cassandra, how are you? Thank you for being here. Welcome. Hello. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Cassandra? By the way, Brad, I hope your brother's doing better.
Yes.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, shoot, it went out as fast as it came in.
Wait, so let me ask you guys this real quick. So, William, continuing with you in that topic.
Oh,
Go ahead.
hold on. All right. So we know that they give the licensees like a certain thing to choose from. Like Hasbro, it's no coincidence that all these companies release the same figures from from different movies and whatnot. So what are we to say about that? Like maybe they have a limited list of characters to choose from, and maybe we get 4 because that's what everybody else is
Correct.
producing.
Correct.
I haven't looked to see what Marvel Legends is putting out or what Mafex is putting out or whatnot, but you can kind of trace some of that stuff. You know what I mean?
What I was gonna say was this movie being such a big movie, and we've seen cameos already. So, like I mentioned, Blade. You mentioned Jay. Sabretooth. Obviously, you mentioned also variants of Wolverine, which is most likely going to happen. Maybe some exclusives here and there, maybe some limited variants, right? Limited to 1,000, 2,000, whatever they want to do. That's probably going to happen at some point because they have to milk. Not only they have to milk this suit, right? But they have to milk the movie, right? For Wolverine and for Deadpool. So I think that's coming. I think we're going to get, I'm not going to say multiple variants, but we're definitely getting variants. And my question for you, Will, was this: with all of these with all of these cameos that you see, why do you think, or why do you not think that they're making any of them? Not that they have to, but what is your opinion on why they wouldn't?
It's, if you look at just the history of them making figures, they haven't ever really gone too far down the rabbit hole of anything. Like, so okay, you're gonna see a character that was in X-Men The Last Stand, and it's like, what was the only character you got from X-Men The Last Stand? Wolverine.
Wolverine, right?
Like, okay, Days of the Future Past, who did you get? Wolverine twice. It's like,
but my point is, right, but my point is, wouldn't it make sense then to make something that could go with any of them?
It would make sense, but it's also the same principle of every company making the Dark Knight Joker because the Dark Knight Joker sells.
Right.
And so, if Wolverine sells out and Deadpool sells out, that would encourage them to expand the line. And I mean, sell out fast, not just, sell out eventually. But like if they're just getting hella orders and they're like, all right, let's do this. We can pump out, 20,000 of these. They're all sold out. Good. Let's make more. But when you talk about the variants, the rumors in the movie is that, the Wolverine variants are actually other actors.
Right.
And so, them doing that, then, it's like having the Harry Potter Wolverine, or having, because Daniel Radcliffe is one of the people rumored for a cameo as a smaller, gruffy Wolverine, because, he got kind of ripped recently, if you haven't seen any current pictures of Harry Potter. But, you're doing that, that would be a whole new head sculpt, a whole new everything that Hot Toys has never made a Harry Potter head sculpt before. So, is it likely that they'll just, poop out a whole bunch of variants? It's like, not in my opinion, because like with Loki, all the variants
were Loki.
Were, all the Tom Hiddleston ones were just the same head sculpt with different hair for the most part. Maybe a slight paint application difference besides Old Man Loki. You did get one, and he's still in stock. So
I mean, yeah, but you have to also, first let me say hello, Jim. Jim, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
So one thing I was going to mention, regarding what you just said was popularity.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my point. The popularity is not the same. But one thing I was going to mention, Jay, you keep bringing up this variant with the jeans and the tank top, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why it's a huge possibility. They made brand new arms specifically for this guy. Okay, you have never seen other arms. When they make arms for Thor, they're for Thor, right? So they made arms specifically for this guy. You're going to tell me they're not going to reuse these things one way
Even
or another?
Hano gave you the arms like that on the other Wolverine.
Right. So
and Hasbro just released the white shirt, t-shirt, the classic white wife beater, blue jeans, Logan Wolverine version. So he's easy for them to make. But that's what I'm saying. Is he on the list of characters they're gonna let them choose from?
Right. Yeah, because that's another thing. You know, again, so the popularity comment was, you know, let's say if, which, you know, we haven't seen the movie. We haven't seen the movie, so we don't even know if he's in the movie. But for example, would you guys buy a Colossus figure if it was on there and they decided to sell it, make it a limited amount? Would you guys
it's chrome and looking shiny with a little bit of damage, like they do the Iron Man, you know, on the map? Yes, 100%, 100%.
So, what do you guys think are the chances of something like that coming from a movie? And remember this is why I'm bringing this figure up. We had him on Deadpool 1. We had him on Deadpool 2. Toys Era made both of them. Hot Toys never even teased anything. Why would you think, or do you guys think that Hot Toys would get into something like that? And do you guys think it's something difficult to make? Remember that third party did it already. Let's go with you, Jay.
I think they passed on it for a reason. They're going to stick that course. And because also that couples with the fact that I think if we do get a couple of characters out of this movie, which I do think we're going to do, I think Colossus falls to the back of the pack in terms of before you're going to get multiple Wolverines, Deadpools, and that Sabretooth. I really think he's going to come because they put him in a teaser trailer to tickle people's fancy because it's a nostalgia thing. So why would they pass up on monetizing that? You know what I mean? They're using it to help monetize the movie.
Right.
So why wouldn't a toy company use it to monetize their sales? It makes sense to me. So that's what I think is going to happen there.
Nightmare says Deadpool and Wolverine is Marvel's 2024 big hit like Spider-Man. Exactly. And look how many figures they made from Spider-Man No Way Home. You got 2 Green Goblins. You got Electro. You got the 2 Spider-Man. That's 5 already. Then you got 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's 8. Then you got Doctor Strange. That's 9. Then you got that base. That's 10. So 10 figures for one movie. You're going to tell me Deadpool and Wolverine is going to have 2? Come
PG-13 though. Will was saying.
I get that. Absolutely. No, I get that. I get all that.
Besides Hugh Jackman, every other character they're pulling in isn't as popularity. Just like you
no, popularity in what sense? Popularity in what sense? Because when I say popularity, you know, with Avatar and Deadpool and Marvel, that's 2 different worlds.
Right, but
when you say popularity regarding the character specifically, what do you mean?
About Fox Marvel versus Sony Marvel versus Marvel, and all the Sony Spider-Man characters and the Marvel ones that were used were all popular characters from popular movies that had, you know, very large established fan bases.
Right.
The Fox X-Men movies, if you look at the gross, you know, in the theaters, the critical reception, the audience scores that just kept going down, and then them changing the timeline, changing the cast, changing the this, changing the that over and over again. The popularity or not popularity, you have that word stuck in my head now, but the, you know, the give a crapness of the fans had been tread on a whole lot more than the Spider-Man movies, where the Spider-Man movies, it was like they would tell their, you know, series of movies, and then Sony, to keep the movie rights, was, you know, changing it up, going and doing more, and then they brought them all together. With this, it's half of it's a joke of pulling them all together with the 20th Century Fox logo and all the other stuff that you see in the, the wasteland behind Wolverine and Deadpool and all that stuff, and all of the characters that they keep showing. No offense to Tyler Mane, but he was in what, like 2-3 scenes in the original X-Men movie, and then he got struck by lightning, and then he was gone. Toad's in the trailer too. Ray Park back as Toad from X-Men 1.
Right.
And it's
something like that I wouldn't expect, right? Toad was in the first X-Men movie. He wasn't a big deal character. And he looked like crap too. This one, I think it's more looks completely different than the original Toad, but that's one character that I wouldn't think twice about. You know what I mean? If they made him, obviously I would get him, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I hope they make Toad. Like, I would never care for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I would care about.
Right.
The classic Sabretooth, though, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's not going to be a classic Sabretooth. That's going to be a movie Sabretooth.
Well, that's what I meant. The classic meaning the very first X-Men movie is what I meant. Not the comic book or the cartoon.
Yeah, Tyler Mane, I think was a better Sabretooth than Liv Schreiber, or whatever his name is, who was Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Well, that was different. That was complete. I feel like the original Sabretooth was more classic looking.
Right.
Than,
I thought that he's a way better Sabretooth.
Yes.
So if they were going to pick one for a figure, obviously it should be this one. But if, for all we know, the way that scene goes from that teaser that you just saw is Wolverine pops his claws and chops the dude's head off immediately, and that's the end of Tyler Mane in the movie.
Right. So I'm not saying that they're going to make all of them, right? I'm not saying that. But I think that we may get some random exclusive that somebody didn't expect or that nobody expected from that movie, limited, and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Let's get this thing.
Maybe they'll do Channing Tatum Gambit.
Oh, imagine that. Is he supposed to be in the movie? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I did hear that he was supposed to play that role years ago, but I thought it was just, speculation.
That's why they're including him in this shenanigans.
Yeah, see, I never knew
because of all of the development hell and everything else, and it's the movies that were and never made. They're just, throw all the darts at the wall and have some dick jokes at the same time, and everyone's gonna have a good day.
We have Rob in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being. Hello. Let's see who else is in here real quickly. Let's catch up with you guys. I think we will get 5 to 8 from this movie. If I'm wrong, then Hot Toys should give us more clones. This guy. So I absolutely, I definitely don't think we're getting 2 figures from this movie. Absolutely not. The fact that we're getting 2 SKUs just for Wolverine alone, to me, the only thing that I see coming is at least 2 SKUs for Deadpool as well. And again, we talked about variants. They're coming. We talked about different characters from the movie. They're coming. There's absolutely no way there's going to be 2 figures out of this entire huge movie. Definitely not. Hit that like button, guys. There's 30 of you guys in here, please. And thank you guys for being here. Rudy says, Henry Cavill was supposed to be in this also. Might get some X-Men. So definitely a chance at more. Wait, why is he supposed to be on there?
There's a rumor that he'll be playing a Wolverine variant.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. See, this is what happens when... So Rudy is on top of these news all the time because he doesn't really follow Hot Toys news. So there's always something going on with Hot Toys, but he doesn't pay attention to that. He's always in the third-party groups and channels. So he's always, he always has a lot of time to look at the news. I don't, That's why he's the peasant. Thule says, these are 2 big dogs. Everyone else in this movie. No, I'm telling you. Thule, we will have this conversation later on. Peons rarely sell. No.
When's the last time you heard peons? That's awesome.
I don't hear any Star Wars. This guy. Where have you been the past 2 months? To this Sideshow doesn't need peon characters sitting in their warehouse. Well, that's why they're limiting them to 1,000, 1,300, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. because they're realizing that there is no reason for Hot Toys to be making 66,000 of any given figure. So that's why now you're getting more FOMO from Sideshow. You're getting more limited figures from Hot Toys. Number one, it locks money in for Sideshow, right? Everybody in the queue is locked in money unless obviously they cancel. But guess what? The majority of orders are taken in and locked in, which is why this is happening to begin with. So you're going to have a lot less stock sitting for Sideshow, which is the main, strategy behind all these queued figures. Brad's asking, where's Brad? I don't even see Brad. Did I see Brad? No, where's Brad? Oh, maybe he's not. He's listening in the background. He's watching the Inert stream like a peasant. Let's give Inert some Let's give Brad some watermelon. Yeah, this is for you, Brad.
I love that guy. I just love that guy.
Colossus will be dope. Absolutely. I hope that's one of the limited figures so I can get 5. But he's Russian. Yeah, well, that could be an issue. That could be an issue why he's not made. Who knows?
Oh,
Peter Rasputin.
Peter
Rasputin. I don't know. It could be. I mean, it could be. You don't know.
No.
We don't. No way they make him. Well, I hope that's one figure that I would love from Hot Toys. Obviously, it wouldn't be anything die-cast. It would be something like Cyborg, right? It would be a plastic, some type of plastic, some type of painted something, right? It can't be anything fancy.
Do you have the Toys Era one?
I have both of them. Yeah, the 1 and the 2. The one, my 1.0 is bleeding out of his boot, straight up oil. And then the 2.0 is so much better. Both bodies are complete garbage. None of them stand on their own. Everything's flimsy. Everything's loose. But they look great when
he stands on his own. You just don't know how to pose people.
I know. My legs, the legs and the body and the torso of mine are very loose, but I don't know how to stand it up. Thank you for that. The Thor says, is the Pope Catholic? Of course, I'd buy a Colossus. This guy. Alana, welcome. How was your permit? Did she get a permit?
I don't know. She didn't tell me.
Wow.
Konnichiwa. Means what's up?
Well, Alana, we hope that you got your permit, or else you're gonna be driven to school every single day by your pops. And you know how embarrassing that is.
No, they're moving far away from me, so I'll barely be able to see them anymore.
What do you mean they're moving far away from you?
They're moving.
To where?
Hours away.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Alana, this is for you.
How dare you?
Well, come.
Oh man. A lot of predictions on a movie that we haven't seen. Oh, that is the beauty of predictions, my friend. All those Spider-Man characters are vastly popular though, and no one knows who TF Xavier's sister is exactly. Now, question, William, and you too, Jay. Do you guys think she would be a character that they would make? I say absolutely not.
Hell to it.
The villain for the movie,
Cassandra Nova, the fake twin that Xavier ate in the womb but didn't, because it's not really a sister, and all the other stupid story that goes with that. But anywho,
did you just hear what you said?
Yeah, I
have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Saying any X-Men plot out loud sounds like that.
Yeah, no, not half womb, nothing. No, I don't know what this thing is.
Like that.
Like when
Thule is 100% right. I have no idea who that is.
Be like when you try to explain the Summers family tree of all of the alternate children, clone wives, and everything else, and it's like you try to say this out loud to somebody, like you read it, it just makes sense because it's a comic book. Right. You say it out loud, it makes no sense to anyone.
He said you say it out loud.
Exactly. That's the problem of translating some comics to the screen. And that's why things like Eternals didn't land properly with everyone. And that's why, like Thor, in the original Thor movie, they tried to shy away from the whole gods and magic stuff. And, Odin saying, what you call magic, we call science, trying to be like, oh, we're not gods. We're not Norse gods. We're just, old beings with crazy good science. And then, they gave up on that after a couple movies and it's like, yeah, we're gods. Yeah.
Harvey Dent, welcome. Hello. Thank you for being here. Happy Saturday. Wait, bleeding oil out of the boot? What do you mean? Yeah. So you know how figures sometimes they just bleed and they leak for absolutely no reason. They leak petroleum, right, Jay? That's what you said.
I said that, but Uncarded said it was VICs. If you want to be more specific, it's a breakdown. It's a breakdown of the material. It's leaching.
That's right. So yeah, so it happens. It's not uncommon. It doesn't happen often anymore, but because these are third party. But
there's a joke.
What
about you, petroleum jelly, Colossus?
Where's the joke?
You lubed him up.
Yeah, I lubed up his boot, which is
where did you put it?
You put it.
I'm getting a bad visual in my head.
Brad, welcome. Nice.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Anything could be a dildo.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
Oh, don't you cut me off.
Guy.
I said
anything could be a dildo. Konnichiwa, bitches. What the fuck?
Anything could be a dildo if you're brave enough.
If you're brave enough. Unbelievable. Hey, Fabs, my Iron Fist 14 is on fire.
That's first appearance of Sabretooth.
Oh, there you go. My legs would bleed also if I never got to pose. My legs would bleed also. This is for you, Will.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
Good.
This guy that is wild. Oh man. That says, is that leaking more on old releases? I recently got my first Hot Toys M1.
Not Hot Toys.
Yeah, no, it's not Hot Toys. It's third party. And no, but this is what I mean. So a Hot Toys figure, right?
Here's a leak right here.
The Comedian by Hot Toys is still leaking to this day. And the one I'm talking about specifically is a third party. Where's it leaking?
You see the puddle underneath him?
Oh no!
It comes from his visor.
And it just drips?
Yep.
Yo, that's crazy. That's what my what do you call it looked like? My my Colossus. He had a whole puddle under the boot, and I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I messaged the dude who I bought that from, and I was like, what the F is this?
What did he say?
He was like, oh man, I'll make you a new helmet or whatever. But it was after like a year. But it was weird that all of a sudden he was, being goopy.
P. Vizsla.
That's right. You got that old hot tub.
He said P. Vizsla.
Pod Vizsla.
Oh, all right, guys. So let's stop with this real quickly because I want to get into, obviously, since we're talking about movies.
More X-Men.
We're gonna get into this beauty right here. So we got some images of the new Superman. And I already like the suit. I know people are complaining about the suit. Obviously, I love the what do you call it? The Henry Cavill suit, right? The first time I saw that the Superman suit had no, underwear over the suit, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. The fact that they were able to pull that off looked incredible. Obviously, we're always used to Christopher Reeve's, underwear and obviously the iconic look of Superman. So now that when we got the Henry Cavill, I was like, oh, the suit looks beautiful. It works with without the underwear on. And we're back to that now. So let me see. Let me pull up the what do you call it? Get off the doorbell, Michael. Welcome. Nice to see you.
I could tell he already has a positive attitude. Hi, Mike.
Well, no,
Hi guys, how are ya?
he just woke up, so he's gonna get one of these.
Good evening.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
How you doing?
He wants that one. Let me give him that one. Hold on.
No, please.
I'm doing.
Thank you.
He's like, how you doing? All right, so guys. So first and foremost, so let's go over some of the images real quickly, and let me show you guys everything so far. So it looks like I don't know who this guy is supposed to be. Obviously, he's part of the movie. Does anybody know who he is already?
Terrific.
Yeah, terrific.
Oh, see, I didn't even look at. There it is in the back. So it looks like, so the suit, like I was mentioning, I love the design of the suit. Obviously, it's completely different than what we're used to. It reminds me of the video game Injustice a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's where the suit is from, which is a video game that I loved. It was a very popular video game. And
Yeah.
They made what was the other one? One of them was Mortal Kombat versus DC, and I think one of those suits as well was a little bit different than your usual suit. So number one, let's go. And as you can see, he has the symbol on the cape, which was also something that was also removed from the Henry Cavill suit, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't have the S in the back of the cape. So Jay, how do you feel about this new look for the Superman? Are you excited for the new Superman? Do you, obviously it's not a question that we're getting these figures, but how do you feel about the overall suit change? How do you feel about the actor being recast for the role? And obviously, again, this is very early on to even be asking about this, but what other figures would you expect from that? And obviously that's questions for everybody after you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll get through two of those. So I did not like Henry Cavill's suit. I thought once they took the red out, it just became a big blob of nothingness, just blue. So I'm thrilled to see that the underoos are back. But when I first saw this suit, that sitting down picture that got passed around with the whatever the planetary disaster that was going on behind him, I said that thing has like an odd like texture to it that reminds me of the Guardians suits. And then lo and behold, I see on some video it's the same designer. So that's exactly why it looks like that. That I'm not thrilled about. Not sure I like the collar, even though I know what look they're going for.
Yes, that collar is different. It looks nice. I like the collar a lot, actually.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of on the fence about it. If in the movie the suit looks a little more form fitting, maybe they work something out in post. And if the figure itself looks well proportioned and whatnot, I would like it. But to be honest with you, and this is going to sound funny, I am really waiting for InArt now that this guy is going to be coming out to give us the Christopher Reeves. I want a Christopher Reeves, and I'm not going to go back and collect that old one until I see what InArt can do. Because why pay more? Pay twice the amount for a 10-year-old figure. But yeah, I'm kind of on board with this. We got to see though. I don't like the way this thing creases and rumples up and looks a little like heavy leather or suede or something. I'm not thrilled with that.
William,
Bobby.
Same question for you.
Just how like what Joker Jay said, when the Henry Cavill suit came out originally, most people were not like what you were just saying, how you loved it when you saw that it didn't have the red and everything. A lot of people hated it.
Right.
But now it's the suit of a generation that all these people are like, that's what it's supposed to look like. It's like, no, that's just what it looked like for like 8 years. It's not the other 80 years of Superman's history.
Right.
But Heath Ledger Joker, when those images first came out, everyone hated it. Everyone was like, how this is not the Joker, this is crazy looking, this is that. And then he died before the movie came out, and now that's the suit of a generation that everybody associates with the Joker. This with the I get exactly what James Gunn's doing, where he's trying to have a classic look with a modern touch. And you have the S logo right there, which is more reminiscent of like the 50s style logo rather than, the more modern S, which would be like the Christopher Reeve looking S. But it's like, adding the texture, adding the little lines, the piping, all that stuff is so it's like he's not just wearing a Christopher Reeve costume, he's wearing his own costume. And how everyone's talking about how it's not like super tight and there's bunching up and stuff like that. It's probably the stunt suit as opposed to the hero suit, which, and even then the hero suits most of the time are touched up in post anyway, because you want it to look immaculate. And, you know, if you make this suit out of, you know, hardcore rubber, the dude's not going to be able to raise his arms up. When Superman's trying to fly away, you know, he can't put his arm to do the little gesture and all that crap. And so you have the suit made out of fabric so it can move.
Right.
And then they'll
breathe because the rubber won't breathe.
And, you know, not be a straight heat casualty while they're filming. They're filming in what, like Cleveland or something right now?
I think so.
And it's
Ohio, maybe, yeah, Cleveland, Ohio, somewhere like that.
But they're making fun of the dude. They're making fun of his hair when the Clark Kent pictures, and it's like he looks like a derpy dude. Like that's part of the Clark Kent persona, is being, you know, everyone thinks you're a big old dummy doofus. And
but it's a very modern take with that haircut on that. In a way, it's kind of an insult to those people who have that hairdo. Like that guy in The Acolyte has that same type of hair.
Who in the Acolyte?
The model looking Jedi.
The one that got his neck snapped?
I think so, yeah. He got killed. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
But Mr. Terrific right there, that is a straight comic book accurate costume. Down to the T on his face. It's, you know, James Gunn is just gonna have, you know, what they say, like a couple dozen DC characters throughout the movie, and some in larger roles, some in smaller roles, because it's not building a universe, we're just falling into a universe that already exists. It's an interesting concept to go forward with, because you get more story that way, because it's already established. These heroes already know each other and stuff like that. It's not Superman crashing on a spaceship and being raised as an infant again, watching.
Oh, it's not a reboot. It's not a reboot.
It's like when the difference between the Spider-Man movie and the X-Men movie from the first of each of those. You have the first hour of Spider-Man of him getting bit and learning all of his crap. The X-Men, they had like a 30-second montage talking about that they're born this way and they have powers. Boom, get into the story. And falling into something like this where it's like, yeah, Superman's already Superman. It's not him growing up in Smallville and hiding himself and figuring out how to do it and all that stuff. It's been told so many times, you don't need to.
Yeah, everybody's already seen that. So it's like, let's cut to the chase at this point. Why waste time and money, you know?
Right. Yeah. Kind of the same reason why they never introduced Tom Holland's intro as Spider-Man, because they had done it 15 times before. So they figured, let's save some time on that. Michael, question for you. So how do you feel about the suit? How do you like the suit? And would you be getting the figure, obviously, if you like the movie and the suit?
Yeah, I'm a Superman fan, so I'd get it. I mean, I like the Cavill suit. I mean, I know that I'm a fan of super undies for sure, right? I like that on my Superman. I think I like it. You know, I definitely like it more in the comics. You know what I mean? I don't think it looks bad here, but I'm a Team Cavill guy. You know what I mean? I don't think they should have replaced him. He was perfect. You know, he was perfect typecast. Like I really don't think he should have been replaced. I think he's young enough to stay in the role. So obviously,
I agree.
Yeah, this dude's younger, right? And he looks good. I mean, I'm not gonna say that you know, he looks bad, but I mean,
why fix what's not broken though? You know, that's the thing.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah, it's like recasting Wolverine. You know what I mean? That's what they bring back. You know, Hugh Jackman for a reason. You know what I mean? He was
especially with him being like, okay, we're recasting everybody except for Peacemaker, except for Blue Beetle, except for
right.
It's like, so
everybody whose movie they made, they're not recasting.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, but you want to recast Henry Cavill because it'll confuse people and all that stuff because you're having new stories going forward. But apparently Peacemaker season 2 is treating some of the events of season 1 like they were canon, and some they'll just ignore. And it's like you're already getting into stepping on your own toes because, you know, you started doing this before, you know, you got the reins, before it was like, okay, this is all happening and you get to just do whatever the hell you want. But now it's, you know, because obviously Peacemaker season 1 ended with the Justice League showing up. And did you even watch the Peacemaker show, Fabs?
I watched. I'm going to tell you how many episodes.
So no.
I watched maybe 2.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
Well, the last episode had the entire Justice League show up, but Superman's face was a shadow. But Aquaman and Barry were both in speaking roles.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
Like that. So it's like it was clearly set in that, you know, in the Snyderverse and that DCEU or whatever the hell the acronym is for that. But now season 2 of Peacemaker is currently filming because James Gunn shares photos all the time. And so it's like, well, it's some of it happened and some of it didn't. We'll just roll with it. And it's like, okay, but you could have kept Henry Cavill and it would have just been the story, especially if you put him in a different costume too. It's like, clearly this is a different Superman, you know, scenario, but you know, the Henry Cavill suit looked good for what it was in those movies.
You don't think it would have been able to continue in the future with the same suit, just changing the color here and there, changing some of the things here and there, just to make it obviously look different for every movie, like they tend to do anyway?
I mean, remember that, like, it had that design, right? It had like that unique
texture on it. It's like a texture. Yeah,
and that was perfect. Like, I felt they really nailed it with it. It was alien. You know what I mean? I love that. I mean, I really love that texture and design that woven into the symbol. You know what I mean? That same pattern that went through the suit went through the symbol too. So
it's just DC's big problem, in my opinion, is they're always trying to be different than themselves. Because you have Jack Nicholson Joker, which is, you know, the Joker for a generation. Then you had Heath Ledger. Like I said, everyone was like, what is this? This is not Joker. And then now they love it. And then you had Jared Leto, who, you know, the whole thing with his Joker was to be different than the ones that had come before, because nobody wants to see somebody doing a Heath Ledger impression or somebody doing a Jack Nicholson impression. Right. So, you know, they went a different direction. And was it good? Sometimes. Was it too much? Like face tattoos and stuff? Kind of. Right. You know, but it was a unique take on Joker. Okay, cool. But now and then you have that Joker in the Matt Reeves Batman movie that you just saw for, like, you know, 2 seconds or whatever, and there was a deleted scene that was a little bit longer, but his face is all jacked up, more like Heath Ledger again, being like,
even worse than that.
Well, right, but I'm just saying it's closer to Heath Ledger than Jared Leto.
Correct.
Because, you know, okay, let's distance ourselves from that.
Right.
And then you have the stuff with Henry Cavill where, you know, The Rock brought him back without a contract, and that's just what made everything worse, because it made it look like he was back to be Superman, and then, you know, the rug gets pulled out from us, which creates even more, you know, upset in the community based off of us and our love of the character and, you know, all of those movies. Because, you know, the Snyder movies, could they be, you know, have better things? Yes. You know, Martha, why did you say that name? You know, that's right on par with I Hate Sand. It's everywhere. It's coarse. It gets, you know, all this stuff from Anakin Skywalker. It's, you know, it is what it is. We can't change that it happened, but it's, you know, yeah. So I think
they referenced that in Deadpool too. I just watched that again last night, and I was like, look at that.
Oh, the Martha?
Yeah.
But
all right, well, first let me say hello to Barry. Barry, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being here.
Konnichiwa means what's up.
Nefty, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Good. Sorry, last minute. It's been graduation week for the kid, and Oh my God, it's like a whirlwind. It was one ceremony at one place because he's a nerd. So one ceremony at one place, another ceremony at West Point, a military base. Oh my God! Talk about TSA. The suit to get to a military base, and then after that, the actual high school graduation, and then tonight it was another dinner party. It was like, oh, that's it. I'm done.
Living the life, huh, Nefty?
Oh yeah. But I've been away from social media for about a week. I mean, just peeking here and there because I've been so busy. The last thing was last week. I was celebrating with all the Jazz Inc. news.
Yeah, he was boasting that Jazz Inc. came out with the 68.
And I'm scared now because that I put in for the blue Batmobile, but when I took a quick snippet on social media, it hadn't met the quota yet. So it wasn't. I wasn't sure.
Are you shocked about that? Tell me you're shocked about that.
I mean, you know what it is. It's a big investment. Like I do. I do the payment plan, so you're locked in for 12 months or what have you. So a lot of people gotta consider that and think about that. But I don't know if it's changed since. But when I checked the beginning of when this went down, the numbers didn't meet his quota yet. And a lot of people talk the talk, but I guess they got to figure out the finance before they went in. But I went with the blue one, so hopefully one way or another I'll get my money back, or it is what it is.
What's the blue one? What do you consider the blue one?
He has a black matte version, and then he has a
comic
blue
version,
the animated series.
Yeah, it's the animated.
Oh, the animated series one.
Animated.
Okay.
It comes in a black matte or a blue, kind of like a midnight.
So he's having trouble filling that one out?
No, actually, that one is selling out. It's selling more than the black.
The 68 is not.
No, the 68 hasn't gone on sale yet. But what it is he needs a specific amount of pre-orders to be met before he can proceed with the project.
Right.
Then it doesn't. He loses money if he were to proceed with, let's say, 100 people. But
I know he was looking for a confidence vote on the 68 in the group, and I thought that might have been what you were referring to.
No.
That wasn't.
I kind of saw that. I'm not. I mean, to me, I saw it real quick. It was like a reissue of what you and I, Fabs, you have it too, right? The 66.
Yeah.
But I heard that there are differences, like 30 things that are different on that Batmobile. But that's not up for sale yet. At least I don't think so.
No.
If they don't do the blue one, would you get the black one?
No, I actually like the blue one. I actually like the blue one.
All right. So, question for you guys. Do you guys, who are these supposed to be? Is that Feyora and all these people over here? Let me see.
No idea. No one knows.
No one knows what they're supposed to be. Do you guys think they're not going to be in the movie, Zod or Feyora, or these people? Because he looks like that tall guy that's been in every movie, right? As part of the trio with Feyora, Zod, and the other guy. So
I doubt.
I only know the other guy, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only the other guy, but I don't know these guys.
I'm gonna ask Nefty. Nefty, so we're going over the new Superman look, the new style suit, the new actor. How do you feel about all of it?
I mean, it looks kind of baggy this snap, but you know what? It's James Gunn. Gotta give this guy a chance. he has a way of making his movies, and I guess this is his style. I mean, I'm hoping in post it gets a little tighter because it looks kind of like I don't want to say like this, but like a cosplay, kind of a bad cosplay. It looks too baggy, or maybe we're tainted with all other Supermans that we've had that they're like skin tight suit. But I'm hoping that this somehow gets touched up in post. But it's different, something new. I mean, the collar, the lines.
I like that Mr. Terrific or whatever. I'm not familiar with him. But he looks so like something that they would never try to put on screen. I like that he's doing that. So that's leading me to believe that he's really going to go deep into pushing a comic book type atmosphere, which I love. I'm getting sick of the real world versions of characters. I don't want to see Batman that's so dark and miserable.
You guys like James Gunn style movie? I mean, the past one, right? Yeah. It's entertaining. It's fun. So yeah, give it a shot. I imagine
I can't stand seeing his brother in every goddamn movie.
that's the style. I mean, think about this: when Tim Burton came around with the '89 Batman, that was a whole freaking change. You know, it was a Burton style of movie, dark and gloomy, and it worked. You know.
Let me go over some messages real quick, and then we'll continue. Wasn't Smallville in Iowa in number 3? I don't even know. Do you guys remember that? I want Superman to show up. How you doing? Imagine. Man, Caleb says, perfect casting. Cavill was perfect. Yep, it was. How you doing? Is enjoying your time right now? Let him be. Gina says, Joker, fix your camera. I'll take care of this, Joker.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
You know who's gonna get smacked for that?
No, she knows I'm joking.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
James Gunn, look at me. I'm the captain now. This guy. Yeah, he took over everything. Tuli says they're also recasting Balin Skull for Ahsoka season 2. That figure could be on its way to Grail status. Get it if you haven't. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is sick. So yeah, so you know that figure is going to shoot up in price as soon as it's out. So make sure you lock it in. I don't even think I've pre-ordered mine. So that's why they call me the Hot Toys rookie. We got Jeff in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see ya.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up?
Oh, he's liking that new one.
Oh man. Harvey that says they need to bring how you doing guy for Superman. Him saying how you doing to Superman would clarify to the audience that Superman is well established in this universe. Imagine. That's insane.
That's Mo Mozzarella. That's his name.
Phoenix Joker is a good one. Yeah, but I feel like that's a different style of Joker altogether. You know what I mean? The fact that he had his own movie alone, you know, that was just like a whole. And I understand what they're trying to do now with it, but it's like I don't. Even though he's a Joker, obviously, I don't. When somebody says, "Oh, what's your favorite Joker?" He never crosses my mind ever, because to me, Joker is somebody that comes out in a Batman movie, and that Joker, you know, had nothing to do. You know, not 100%. But you know that movie had nothing to do with Batman directly, right? It was indirectly connected to Batman, but directly it was no Batman in it. So that's why I never think of that Joker specifically as a conversation Joker, because to me he's not.
What about the new Penguin? He's gonna have his own series, and I'm sure Batman's
he's not my Penguin either, so I don't really care for that either. You know, obviously if Hot Toys makes the figure, absolutely I will get it to go with that Batman, but. What's his name again?
I like it, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah. Colin Farrell.
I'm interested in that Penguin actually.
No, the character as you know, the role of the character is cool, right? It's a mafia guy, it's a gangster, that's cool. But because the Penguin, right? The whole point of the Penguin was that he looked like a penguin. You know what I mean?
But Penguin's always been a joke, though. Penguin has always tended to been that joke character, or like you know.
Right, but the whole
like Danny DeVito, right?
But again, correct. But the whole point is he's called the Penguin because he looks like a penguin. Period. Right. So this guy's called the Penguin. He looks nothing like a penguin.
Yeah,
so
but I don't know if he has to look like a penguin, Fabs. I don't really think that's.
No, that's me. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't see him that way. Because to me, he's not a penguin. Right. Not that he's supposed to look like a penguin, but if I'm thinking about or talking about the Penguin character, and this guy's just a regular guy with scarring on his face and he's fat, to me that's not a penguin.
And he has a big nose.
He's what?
He has a big nose.
Well, yeah, but that's
the penguin nose. Quiet, you.
I mean, there's a comic Penguin Pain and Prejudice, and I think they said that this penguin is kind of based on that, or like the genesis of this penguin is based on that comic book series, which is a really dark and twisted penguin. You know, it's like a kid who's very jealous over his, you know, adopted brothers and sisters, and he killed all of them. And, you know, he's a guy who at the slightest, you know, someone turns on him for anything, or a girl does anything bad to him, like he goes, you know, 0 to 100, you know, and kills people. So I don't know. You got to make Penguin a real threat. He's never been a real threat. And I feel like they're making.
Well, that's my point. They changed the tone of the character altogether to fit into the type of Batman movie, that he's in.
Sure.
And now for his show, they have to build up his character for the second movie. So it all makes sense, and I understand. So when it comes to calling him a penguin, it's not for me. What?
You're basing your opinions of the Penguin off of what? The 66
Pretty much.
Penguin, the Danny DeVito Penguin, and the animated series.
With the umbrella.
But do you have any like comic book experience with the Penguin? Because he's done.
That's the Penguin.
He's done gangster stuff,
correct,
black market stuff.
He's been reinvented,
Lounge.
you could say, over in the New 52. They really did reinvent the Penguin.
Carlos, welcome.
Charlie, my friend, Charlie Brigante, how you doing?
You think this Penguin show is going to set up the next Batman movie, or there's not going to be no connection?
It's not going to set it up, but he was already in the first one.
Yeah,
he most likely will be in the second one. And so I think what they're doing, because his character wasn't such a big part of the movie, right? It ended as leading into the second movie, him being a big part of it. So I think what they're doing is to continue that storyline. I don't know where it's taking place, if it's between Batman 1 or 2, or if they're going back to before Batman 1.
It's after, because in the preview he says Carmine Falcone's dead.
Oh, there you go. So they're continuing his role, so how he becomes who he becomes by the time Batman 2 comes out. So I think that's what they're trying to do. And Rudy says his brother and his wife too. Carlos says, who's the Latin guy? Yeah, so guys, we're gonna get into the Mark 6 that is finally out and shipping right now. This is what I'm talking about. More craziness, talk, and entertaining to watch. Brad would never join. He's an inner peasant. That's why. Antonio Stark.
It's Antonio Stank. Get it
Antonio
right.
Stark.
Rudy.
He said Antonio Stark.
Yeah, but
that's why. Yeah, but that's why I tell you guys, Rudy. Don't give Rudy a hard time on my channel, please. Rudy only knows third party. Okay?
Person at you right now.
What did everyone have come in this week? I had Mace Windu yesterday.
Mace.
Who else did you guys get?
I got
Spider-Man, Thanos, Gandalf, Iron Man.
Everyone's pop culture order came in.
Chrome Cody came today.
Chrome Cody, nice.
I got the two stormtroopers, 4 stormtroopers, the 2 whites and 2 blacks coming in.
Oh, don't be racist. You just got here. We got Gina. Gina, this is from Jay to you, okay?
In more ways than you realize. She'd seen that look before.
Oh my God. So funny. Ernesto says Joker top 3, my first, Heath Ledger, Joaquin, and Mark Hamill. Oh, the Mark Hamill voice acting was fun. He was very good with that voice. Absolutely. This new Penguin is awesome. Very mob-based. Colin Farrell. Yep. So that's the thing, right? It's a mob-based. It's a different take of the Penguin. I get it.
But again, if comic books were fantasy, and if we're getting away from the fantasy, now
Correct.
it's a mob. If it's a mob movie, give me a mob movie. Take Batman out of it. Stop calling him the Penguin.
Thank you. That's why, to me, he's not a penguin. I get the whole thing. I get it. I get it. But he does not look like a penguin. He is not the Penguin. He could be called the Penguin all he wants. I get it. But to me, he's not the Penguin.
You want a corny cheeseball movie. I got it.
Yeah. Not too corny, but there's a medium.
Exactly what they're saying. If we're looking at comics, and these are supposed to be from comics, why change it and try to make it into a real movie?
Because I don't think a Batman 66 real live action movie would go over well.
Well, no, it had its time and place, but you can do something in between. Marvel has been doing comedy in all of their movies, and it's worked for them in a way that DC missed out on. Every DC movie is a little too dark, in my opinion.
I mean, I feel like James Gunn is doing that. Like to me, with James Gunn, like in the Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad movies, like that's the kind of the in between where it's you know, he's making it a little goofy. Well, you can say it's a lot goofy, to be honest, but you know, that's the in between. You know what I mean? Whereas then the real dark is that Batman movie we just saw.
Yeah, it gets a little too. I'm like, we just saw that with the Christian Bale series. How much darker do we got to get before it's no longer fantasy?
Right.
It's just a crime drama, and it's
Right.
like big deal. I don't want to watch Barney Miller version of Batman.
It's a crime drama using the comics. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dark Knight. I mean, I liked it. Right.
Albert says Juan Antonio Marquez Stark. Till I finally got my mom $1,000 in a few days. Oh, look at you collecting, peasant. Unreal.
Thule, unbox it on here.
Yes. Well, Thule is supposed to be streaming with us when we started doing the Sunday streams. And for some reason, he was in church every Sunday at specifically that time, whether we streamed at 11, 12, 1, 2. He was always at church. So
how dare you?
I kind of got the hint that he was not interested at all. So I was like, all you
got to do? I just got to say I'm at church and I can get out of this?
Mike's like, I got midnight mass. I'm out of here.
So every time I see Thule,
you're a genius.
So every time I see Thule, this is what I think of now.
Come on, baby. Let me see what you got, huh?
Ready?
Say you go hit it one time, or?
One time.
Oh my god.
Oh, Thule. I've been waiting for you, Thule. We got to stream one time. Thule, one time. Fabs, Thule is in a heat. Exactly. I know. I'm just messing with it. Thule's the best of us, okay? Thule's the best of us. Thule keeps us grounded, okay? He brings the Lord to the chat. Oh,
that's
man.
Funny.
Everybody's great.
Bob's dying.
How dare you? Oh, man. I apologize, Thule. Oh, man. Carlos says, give us Thule a break. He had a lot of sins. Oh my god. All right, guys. So before we get sidetracked even more, oh my god. So we finally get the Mark 6 that everybody has been waiting for because of the huge gantry. I've been waiting for this figure because of these attachments here that you could only get with the deluxe gantry. So guys, I'm going to start with you, Jay. Now, how do you feel about the figure? And as you can see, the head sculpt is looking like straight. I'm not going to say, but how do you feel about this?
I kind of, all right. So there's so many Iron Man and they're so slightly, it's not something I keep up with. So a lot of Iron Man just, to me, are just like blah. It's all the same old shit. But I got that Mark III. The Mark II's coming out, the chrome one that I really like. So it's got me looking at these again. And if I didn't have as many as I have already, and I had the space for this thing's beautiful because you get a lot of different looks with it. You swap those parts out. Yep. You have an in motion scene just by having the gantry and having a couple pieces missing. This doesn't take a lot to pose to make it look great.
Right.
How much is this thing? I'm curious. It's got to be in the close to 5, right?
600 and change, I believe. But question for you: what is it about the Iron Man that you're not so much into? Is it that you already have the 1 through 7 and you're like, all right, enough? Or
they're just slight variations. And the only character I fall for that with is Spider-Man because he was my guy. Iron Man was a nobody until Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
He was a nobody character. Nobody gave a shit about Iron Man. I had him as a Mego when I was a little kid, but since then I didn't have any Iron Man figures. So Spider-Man, I'll fall for all the stupid. They'll get my money every time with these dumb little subtle changes. But Iron Man, you can't do it at $400-500 a pop.
Right.
It gets to be too much. So I got the ones I like. I got the comic book looking ones. I got the 2 and the 3, and I'm kind of good with that. But to anybody else that's into getting all the Iron Man or doesn't have any, throw the money down. This thing's beautiful. Look at that light up stairwell.
Yep.
That looks like the staircase Kiss used to have on
Yep.
tour. Like, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, no, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. So now, specifically speaking, head sculpt. Tell us how
It
you
looks
feel.
terrible.
Yeah, all right.
It looks terrible. I don't know why, and usually I'm not a harsh critic with these head sculpts. Some of you guys get a little nuts about it.
Right.
I'm willing to forgive a lot, but I got to admit, this one something's weird about it. But I can't quite figure out what it is. I think it's just the expression. I don't even think
it's the expression, and I think they went too far with the realistic or realism, or the wrinkling on it and all the stuff. And I think they went a little bit too overboard with it, and it looks funky. William, how do you feel about all this?
Pass.
And we talked about this, and you sent me actually a comparison. Actually, let me pull that up. But go ahead.
Pass.
How come?
Because I don't want it.
No, but how do you like? What about it? Why don't you want it?
Because.
This guy.
Because it's huge.
You don't have space for it?
No space.
If you were a collector, would you, if you had the room, would you buy it?
If I had infinite space, yes, I would have all the gantries.
Why does it have to be infinite space, and why not just say, if I had the space for this one figure, I would get it? Why does it have to be infinite space?
Because I said so.
So you don't care for Iron Man. Just be honest. Just say, I love Star Wars only, and I don't care for Tony Stark. I don't care for Iron Man, and that's it. But instead of saying, I wish I had all the space in the world so I could collect, it's kind of like, I feel like it's condescending to us on my channel. It's condescending to all the original.
I wish they would actually do the devil in a bottle storyline where he gets straight loaded, flies around his armor, and kills somebody while he's drunk flying. That would be an amazing movie.
Is that a story?
Hot Toys would never do that.
Not Hot Toys, the Marvel movie.
So this is what you sent me, William. So a little comparison between the last head sculpt that we got and this one. And so now you can see what the complaint is a little bit better. Michael, how do you feel about the figure? How do you feel about the head sculpt? And did you order? I think you did order the Mark 6, right?
I did. I'm an Iron Man guy, so I get all the Iron Man, and I guess I try to, right? It's not. Look, it's not. I got to see it in hand. You know what I mean? I'm not thrilled. I can say, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm not jumping out of my seat with this head sculpt, but I got others to replace it. If I really hate this, I have tons of Tony head head sculpts that I can just swap it.
Nefty.
Yeah, I didn't get the gantry because I have the Mark IV gantry, but I'm getting this because the non-deluxe version, because I'm building up the 1 through 7. So I have in the recent one, the 7s. I'm missing this one and the 2, I believe. But I already have a gantry with the number 4. The head sculpt definitely is not going to be an issue with me because I'm not going to display him with the head sculpt. But I don't like the head sculpt. I side more with Mike that I'm curious if it's lighting or what have you. So I would like to see it in hand, but it's not going to be an issue with me displaying this head sculpt.
So Nefty, you said you are getting it or you're not getting it?
I'm getting the 6, but not the deluxe version.
Oh,
not
you're getting the figure, just not the gantry.
Right, because it's gonna go to complete my 1 through 7, and I have the Mark IV gantry.
Now, question for you: Why is it that you have space for going on 11 Jazz Inc. vehicles, but you don't have space for this?
No. For me, is that I'm gonna have one Iron Man with one gantry. It's either this gantry or that gantry.
Yeah, but number one, they're both right. So one is a Mark IV, one is a Mark VI. The first gantry obviously completely different than the second gantry. The second gantry is a fancier gantry, obviously, than the first one. So what is it about the having the different gantries that are completely different is what's turning you off about the second one?
No, I just it's not off because this gantry of number 6 is absolutely beautiful. But it's just that I was gonna just have one Iron Man on one gantry, and it just happened that at the time when I was collecting, 4 was available, and I hooked up with 4. But it's not because I do not like number 6, but I just don't see it in my collection having 2 different 6 or 4 Iron Man in 2 different gantry. I just picked one. So if it would have been that I would have been starting now and I get 6 now, I wouldn't go back for 4. But it just happened that when I started, 4 was around. But number 6 is absolutely beautiful. But it's just, I'm not gonna have 2 in my collection, 2 Iron Mans in 2 different gantries.
What is your favorite Iron Man mark 1 through 7?
1 through 7, I'm gonna say right now, I kind of like 7. That thing came loaded for with the box and everything that I had. You can transform it into that pod and everything. Yep. So it's that one. I don't know number 2 or this one yet. So I'm gonna see when I get it.
Oh yeah, I feel like eventually the number 2. Actually, no, they did 2 number 2s already.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have to make the James Rhodes number 2, the Unleashed version 2.0. They have to make at some point. And then what else are you waiting for? What was the other one?
So I got the 6, I believe. Is it the 3 that's coming out? It's one of those odd numbers.
No, the 3 2.0 just came out.
Okay. I'm waiting to get it.
Yeah, so the 3 2.0 is what you need.
I know. I've asked a million times. I know Hall of Armors, right?
Oh, you're not getting them either, or you are?
Oh no, I wish. I mean, I think the pop culture has the Hall of Armors, but when I look at the reviews, there was so many pitfalls with that Hall of Armors. The LEDs not being strong enough when you connect the whole system. Because I don't care about the space, but I was hoping they would do a 2.0, or 3.0. Because my understanding, this is the second time the Hall of Armors has been out twice. So right. I would hope a 3.0. And my understanding that when it came out, it still had the problems of the first version.
Right.
So, I was hoping, that they wise up and come up with the 3. But you told me
it was exactly the same. There was no difference.
Yeah. No, that's what I heard. So I was hoping they would do a 3 version for Fabs. You had mentioned that it was not a money maker for them. It sat for a long time. It's big. It's clunky. So.
Michael, the gantry specifically, what do you think about it? Do you think it's going to be sturdy? Do you think it's going to be nice? Are you going to display this thing in your collection or not really?
I mean, in all honesty, I was so jazzed up for this when it first came out, when it was announced. I think I ordered 2 of these things.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna display one gantry?
I mean, honestly, it's gone through my head just to eat the deposit, which would be the first time I've ever done that. Oh my God,
that's gonna be like $100.
Yep.
You know what? You're on Mike. Mike, I'll take it off your hand. I'll take it off your hand. Seriously.
Yep. But I mean, really,
I'll
you buy one, so he buys one, and you keep one. There you go. Perfect.
I'll buy it off. You want me
I'll check really quick. I think I ordered 2.
If that's the case, I'll take it off your hand.
Yeah.
I'll Venmo the money or however you want.
Yeah, I don't have the room for 2. You know what I mean? I mean,
Nefty, just send me the money. I'll send it to him. So wait, where did William go? Oh, his phone probably died. All right, let's see. Let me see.
I mean, it looks like it's going to look good. Like I highly doubt that this thing is going to disappoint. I bet you it's going to be all lit up. The stairs are going to be all lit up. It's gonna be the gantry that we wanted all along. So
Chadwick says the head sculpt looks like he's getting an enema. This guy, unbelievable. Nightmare says I have the Mark 6 with gantry on order. I am not worried about the head sculpt because Hot Toys bloggers. Right? Yep, exactly. So yeah, I said the same thing as Thule. It looks like crap in every single picture, but in hand, I hope and I can guarantee you, it most likely be perfect. Because again, once you start moving the eyes and some of these poses with the eyes turned, to a different side, say like that, like So that's what I'm hoping for, and I most likely will be correct. Let's see. We get Jay. How do you feel about the gantry overall? Do you think it's something that are you even getting this or no?
No.
Or you're not? So why are you not getting this? What is it about the the Iron Man?
No.
What?
I said space, but no, I'm just not getting it because I'm done with Iron Man. If the last Iron Man I gotta get is the comic, not the one that you got with the
yellow.
yeah, the one that looks like a big Mattel.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the last one until they come out with something that really knocks my socks off. But I'm done with all these movie ones. They're all kind of close. I love the gantry. This thing looks fantastic.
Yes.
If like I said, if I didn't have an Iron Man, I'd get this one right now.
And did you guys remember what the first diecast Mark 6 base looked like? It was like a half-ass gantry, like of the base barely lifted up a little bit, like making it pretend that it was going to be a gantry. It was cool. It was a cool concept at the time when we got that Mark 6, but now getting the full thing, even better. Night and day. First we get Smirking King of Queens, Clone Wars, Anakin, and now we get a post-op enema smirking Tony Stark. I guess these are the DEI head sculpts. Oh my god, this guy. The gantry from Mark 4 is from California. The gantry from Mark 6 is from New York.
Yeah.
Nefty won't buy it because he is not a fan of New York.
Mike, I'll take it off your hand, Mike. Let me know.
I have one. I just checked. It's actually
Okay.
I thought I did too. I have one.
So now you got to sell him yours because you teased them. Unreal.
Sorry, Nefty.
Mike said he does not have room for two. Me, that's what she said.
He's on a roll.
Unbelievable. Chris, my unknown Mercari friend. What the hell's going on? My unknown Mercari friend. Oh my god. That's so funny. That's what I'm all going to join the stream. So, all right, go guys. Now, okay, since we're done with this peasant, we have this beauty out as well. And I want to get your take on this gorgeous queen. So we have the Mighty Thor, guys. As you can see, finally shipping. She's out. Let's go with you, William. William, how do you feel about this beauty? I feel like you already spoke on her, but just quickly give us your take on her. How you feel about the battle damage exclusive helmet? How you feel about the head sculpt overall and the entire figure?
It looks nice. It looks like Natalie Portman. Like I said before, I'm a fan of the sculpted hair that looks, more than just a big old block of plastic where you see the individual little pieces and stuff, and it looks like it's actually has like a flow to it.
Yep.
Her battle damaged head, the helmet, it looks nice. It's a nice look to be able to alternate out what you have on display. That right there with Mjolnir being all the pieces flying with the electricity and everything is a neat effect. She has some good musculature in her arms.
Yep.
The helmeted look looks good. The unhelmeted look looks good. And it's a nice figure. I don't have any Thor stuff in my collection at this time, and so that's how it's staying.
We got Axel in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here tonight.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Let's go to Nefty. Nefty, are you getting this figure? Did you order this figure? Did you pre-order this figure? And are you excited about the figure? And how do you feel about the figure?
Yeah, I'm excited about the figure. I like how it looks. I order it, so yeah, I'm looking to get it. I like the battle damage look with the broken Munir. But it's definitely coming home. And they did a good job with the head sculpt from what I'm seeing. And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I like the color pattern, everything about it. Good to go.
A question for you. So how do you feel about the fact that we are getting a light up Thor hammer, Mjolnir, as you can see here, right here? So the reason why I bring this up is because if you know, and if you owned any Thors that have this specific type of hammer that lights up, it's not a metallic hammer. It has no weight like the other hammers that are not broken or cracked, right? So we're getting a lighter, a non-die-cast or non-heavy metal hammer for the Mighty Thor figure. We're getting plastic and we're getting it with the function. Do you think it's necessary for them to have included the original one just because obviously they give her the crack one because that's what she held, that's what she, that's the one she had, but just as a, just as a throw-in to give us the heavy metallic one, do you think it's necessary? Do you think they missed the opportunity to do that for us, or do you think it's not necessary?
I mean, it would have been nice if they would have included, but to me, I would have taken either or. I'll take it the way they're giving it to us right now. But I would have enjoyed it if they would have given us a heavier one. But I'm okay with it because it's still going to give me the effect. I mean, overall, this character with the color pattern, the way she looks, this and that, and this lighting up, it adds to the excitement for me when it comes to this character and this figure displayed in my shelf. So either or for me, I would have taken it. If they would have given it to me, sure, absolutely. But they haven't. I'm still happy with it.
Chris says, I bought a figure on my car and he was from. What are the chances of that? Can you imagine? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I see some of you people on some weird places somewhere, man. It's fun. You'll just be scanning YouTube and all of a sudden you'll see a name you recognize from here and you're like, really? All right, that's cool.
Harvey Dance, I didn't plan to get the Mighty Thor until I saw these blogger photos. She looks insanely dope. Absolutely. She looks beautiful. Michael, how do you feel about the figure? Did you order the figure? Are you getting the figure?
I'll get it when it's like, $99. The bargain bin.
Oh, you're not going to get it right away?
I don't like wasting money.
Wait, so what's wrong? Tell us. What don't you like about it? What do you think they messed up on?
This is just gonna plummet. It's gonna plummet like a rock in a lake. It's not gonna.
Well, no. So you're talking about the fact that it's a Marvel figure. Nothing Marvel is really selling that much. So that's where you're going.
No, I think this figure just in particular. This figure, if you're gonna waste your money spending retail, shipping, tax, you're gonna lose.
Oh, you think it's just a figure overall that's not going to be a hot sale?
Yep. I think this is a wait.
Why do you think that? What is it about the figure? Is it just the character? Or is it just, what is it?
Yeah, I think character. I think movie. I think I don't like my chicks to have those big of arms.
Or balls.
Or balls.
Wait, you don't like her muscle tone? Which is like literally like screen accurate, and
it's accurate to the movie.
Yeah, I just think it's just not gonna. This is not gonna sell well, and I don't think it. The movie bombed, so this is not. It was just like the Thor, right? You would think the Thor figure would definitely be a bigger seller, I would think, than this one, and that Thor figure has bombed. The gold arm Thor figure.
Well, it's a great figure. Number one, it's just because of the movie. I feel like that was the problem that turned a lot of people off. And I can guarantee you the people who aren't buying it for retail right now will get it eventually for dirt cheap. Guaranteed. And you're going to see how many people get it after the fact and praise the hell out of that figure because the figure is beautiful.
I'm with you. Look, I'm sure it's a great figure, but I mean, to spend all, spend up at the max price right now, it's not the entry point to get in it.
Correct. No, that I agree with 100%, and that makes sense 100%.
So same thing with this figure. Same thing with this. Same thing with Gore. Like I don't think it's wise to get in at this price.
Yeah, Gore, I got it ready for retail, and let me tell you something. That head sculpt right now for me, and I didn't even mention it in the video, is head sculpt of the year so far for me. That Gore head sculpt is that good. Okay. You see, it looks exactly like he looked in the movie. You see Christian Bale's resemblance in that head sculpt 100%. The teeth look creepy. Everything about that head sculpt is perfect. No complaints about it whatsoever. So right now at this moment, that is my head sculpt of the year, 100%. Obviously, we got to wait to see what else is coming out for the rest of the year. But as of right now, 10 out of 10 all day long. And obviously everything that I get from Hot Toys is usually a 10. But that one specifically, beautiful. Jay, how do you feel about this?
I'm in full agreement with Mike. I love her, and I think she looks better than I had anticipated it being, but she's going to be cheaper later. and I'm gonna wait on that because she's not a character that if I miss is gonna kill me, and you got to draw the line somewhere. So if I can get her at a good rate sometime, before she's gone from my mind, I'll pick her up.
Tully's nuts. Thor still made almost 800 mil. I think you'll get this one overseas for cheaper. Yeah, well, guys, for those who don't know, check out toysforkiddos.com. Use coupon codes FabsFigures. This is what Rudy's talking about. He's been using up my code. I think the code's running out. It's supposed to be a lifetime code, but Rudy uses it so much to buy 108 toys that it's running out. So this is what he means. You'll be able to save some money on it eventually. But let me tell you, the figure is beautiful. One thing I wanted to point out. One complaint that I have with these effects usually is like when you try to mount them on something, right? Like on the hammer or whatever, they usually pop off. They're not real secure when you're supposed to press them in to lock them in. And can you imagine if Hot Toys decided to give us all these pieces loose and we had to yeah, and we had to mount them on this effect? Can you imagine that? I would have never bought a single Hot Toys ever again. Let's see. One thing I wanted to point out. All right, so head sculpt wise, let's go with you, Jay. 1 to 10.
I'm trying to see if it looks like if it's not the same exact head sculpt. Why wouldn't it be the same head sculpt as the other one?
As who? As Padme?
As Padme, yeah.
Well,
I think it's the same exact sculpt.
That's the thing. They're usually if and this is why I talk about it all the time. When there are figures that are close together, right? Somewhat time-wise, meaning, for example, he just brought up Padme. Padme only got released a few months ago, but 2 months ago?
Yeah.
And now you have another one, same actress, obviously completely different movie, completely different character, same actress. I don't know who made which one, right? I don't know which sculptor made Padme, and I don't know which sculptor made this one. I'm going to assume, maybe you guys could check for me real quick. I don't know. But I'm going to assume that it could be the same person doing both. And I can guarantee you that one head sculpt was tweaked into the 2 head sculpts, and that's why they look very similar. Again,
I think like Leia, you got one sculpt for Natalie Portman that you're going to get on every version of anything she's in, because they're just going to keep using this sculpt and keep putting it on a different figure body of whatever they can, and that's what you're going to get.
And different hair.
Yeah, you're going to get different Padmes now after this. They're not done with Padme.
Never.
If she's in another movie coming up, which I don't remember what happened at the end of this one. Did she die of the cancer or what? I don't know. But yes, this is the same head sculpt. It looks great. Whatever you see on screen usually doesn't end up in your hand. In your hand, it always looks better.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't give anything a 10, but I'll give it a 9.
Why can't you give anything a 10?
Because a 10 is like unquestionably lifelike, can't find any. A 10 is perfect, and there's very few perfect things in this world. So,
right. Besides me, Gore. And then Mike, 1 to 10.
This head sculpt?
Yeah.
6.5.
This guy, unbelievable. So disrespectful. Nefty, 1 to 10.
8.
Yeah, why 8? What is it that you don't like about it that won't give it a 9 or a 10?
I mean, it's there, but I suspect when I look at it at a different angle, it's not going to be the same. You know?
Do you tend to use the rolling eyes in your figures at all or no?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You do.
Yep.
Like to get what specific like poses, looking a certain way?
Yeah, expression or dynamic look. You know, if they're motioning to a specific direction or looking or gesturing or making a move, I'll move the eye. And then let me tell you, that's a pain in the ass. Those eyes, bro.
Yeah, no, and that's why I don't play with them. I don't mess with them at all. And then last but not least, we got this beauty here as well that it seems like everybody wants to, not everybody, but I feel like there have been some negative conversations around this figure. And to be honest, I don't understand why. Because if we know that this is supposed to be a cheaper product, right? What is the problem, right? Why is everybody being not everybody, but why are the people who are being harsh? What's the point of that?
The day this came out, I heard somebody say, "This is the worst piece of crap I ever saw," and then somebody else said, "I'm getting 3 of them if I can." Like,
so
if you couldn't be further, like, people just
Correct.
really do not like this thing, or they
Right.
love it.
Right. So that's the thing. It's not everybody. That's why I kept mentioning that it's not everybody, because people do love this. And I can tell you, this suit, right? This material, not the suit, this material has been used already. For anybody who has that Amazing Spider-Man figure by Hot Toys, that limited figure with the fancy Amazing Spider-Man, diorama piece and the flying Green Goblin little thing, this is the exact same material that is used for that figure. Obviously, it's only the red part, right? It's the cloth. It's not the rubber part. So this may look funny, again, because it's a picture. It's a promo picture. These cameras catch every single detail. So that's why the suit may look cheap. I'm not saying this suit's going to be, perfect, but I can tell you it's not going to be what people think it's going to be. Because again, it's been used plenty by Hot Toys already. I don't think this is going to be anything cheaper than anything Hot Toys, but the reason why we're getting it for cheaper, as you can see the stitching, as you can see the neck connector, right? It's not attached like that's Amazing Spider-Man, which is all attached here to make it look very, very professional, and the whole thing is one whole piece. So
I have this figure already.
I was gonna say, so I'm gonna start with you, Michael. So how do you feel about this? What did you think when you first saw the announcement for it?
These are giant Mezco figures.
Oh wait, hold on.
These are giant Mezco figures. That's what that's even the Hono. I'm out on Hono, by the way. I'm out.
Wait, so this is a Mezco 6-inch?
This is a Mezco 112 6-inch figure. Yeah, like this is what they're doing, right? All they're doing is really, you could say, scaling up these, and
right.
That's what these are. This is basically Hot Toys Mezco line.
Yeah, that pose is looking a little trans, but
I just took him off my. He was scaling my my Infinity Gauntlet glove, so I just took him off.
How much was that figure, Mike?
Probably $100, around $100.
Did it come with the backpack and bendable?
Yeah, it comes with all this goofy stuff, backpacks, webs, the whole 9.
Oh wow! Any head sculpt?
I don't remember. I think it only came with this one, if I'm not mistaken.
So you mentioned that you were out on Hono. What is it about Hono that you don't like? What is it? Is it just
because they're basically big Mezcos. They're 12-inch Mezco figures, and I'm not looking for that in between. Like, the reason I collect Mezcos is because I guess I like a smaller figure that is kind of that comic book. It fills that comic book void for me.
Well, so I was gonna say, the fact that you're a Hot Toys collector and you're a big time Hot Toys collector, a little peasant but Hot Toys collector. Why wouldn't you see, now that you're getting the Mezco that you love, the smaller figure that you love, in the scale that you're more deep into, because you're not so big on the 6-inch?
Because at that scale, at the 12-inch scale, the detail that I've seen that Hot Toys has given us, I don't want to downgrade from that. I want to go up.
Oh, I gotcha.
They can do so much more at a 12-inch scale than they would ever accomplish at this scale. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So Hot Toys is just prestige line, and then everything else that's basic, you want to keep it basic.
Those head sculpts are there's no better heads, in my opinion, really. There's no better head sculpt in the collectible game. Even at quarter scale, like Hot Toys and their likeness to actors, like they've done the best job out of any company out there.
Consistently.
Albert says, Mike, hit him with the who cares.
Yep, the Hono is the who cares Hono. I'm out. I saw the pictures of the Wolverine and I said to myself, I'm out. And then I saw this and I said, I'm double out.
Albert says, once again, Mike is correct. Look at you, Mike. You got a fan. He won't join the channel, but you got a fan.
Once again, I'm correct. I mean, it happens a lot here.
Jim says, can we do a peasants only on Monday night?
An idea.
He said peasants only on Monday night. That's a great show. That is a great show. That is a great title for a show. Nefty. So you saw obviously the announcement for this. As you can see, we have something different, something new, right? We got a lot of innovation from Hono, way better than InArt, right? InArt hasn't given us bendable staffs for Gandalf. They haven't given us bendable golden Cheerio rings. So as you can see, this is completely different. And the fact that a company selling figures at $170, $175, $160 is going out of their way to give, again, this is nothing fancy. This is nothing like, oh my God, this is going to cost us $1 million, which is why they're able to price it at $175. But the fact that they're giving us accessories that actually do things, right? It's not just a complete mold that they just, give us and here you go, do whatever you want with it. No, you could actually shape these webs. So Nefty, how do you feel about, getting stuff like that? That type of innovation. Again, it's not like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. No,
no, for that price range.
Correct.
And the fact that they're trying to be faithful with the comic book, which is in itself, it's its own collection, its own world. I mean, it definitely works. I thought Thor was supposed to be the next character they were gonna pop out with, and this one caught me by surprise. But yeah, it works. It works for that price range. It works for the people that are into the comic books and they want comic book type accuracy characters at 1/6 scale. Oh, that's real nice.
Yeah.
This is what this is what the peasants who don't collect Hono do. They buy customs and then they buy the bootleg comics that are rated 9.4, and then they. Can you imagine?
That's some bold words.
He's like, yeah, okay. So Nefty, what would you rate this 1 to 10? And are you getting this?
Yeah, I'm adding it. I'm doing the whole Hono thing only because in my collection it'll be the comic book series of collection. That's how I categorize it. But yes, there's Magneto, Wolverine. Even though I already have the sideshow Wolverine and Magneto. Was Magneto sideshow? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm curious. I guess at this price range, they can't go crazy with head sculpt. So with Thor, I guess it's going to be a helmeted version, partially covering his face, I would suspect, and whatever accessory he comes in. But yeah, definitely. I got to follow up and start finding comic books to fill in the back. Or as I've learned that with the Wolverine, you can cut those back and put it as a comic book.
But they come with the comic book already, doesn't they?
No. It's a backing. It's a picture.
It comes with it.
You cut it off.
Oh, it's the insert for it. I thought it came with like a piece of paper of the comic book. That's what I thought it was.
No, it's part of at least with Wolverine, it's part of the cardboard, and then you gotta cut it out, and put it in. Or if you have a comic book, you can put the comic book.
Oh, I see. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it came already with like that. It just, obviously it's not a comic, it's just a piece of paper, but I didn't think. So now, what did you say, 1 to 10, Nefty?
I'm going to go with this. I'm going to give it a 9. I
9.
like it. Yeah.
William, what was, I think we talked about this already, but what was the one thing you talked about the body regarding this figure?
That he looks like Miles Morales size.
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah, I have the Miles Morales, and it gives me Miles Morales vibes.
Now, I'm going to pull up something because I want to see if the height of it is a big difference. So we're going to pull up this guy on Sideshow, and I'm going to see what's in the box, and I want to see if they tell you the height of it. Product size, height, 11.81 inches. So would this be considered smaller than any other Hot Toys figure, or is this the standard size for Spider-Man figures?
It's more like Tom Holland size.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So it won't be the same height as the limited edition Amazing Spider-Man, correct?
No, I believe he's like 12.1.
So there's going to be a difference in height, which doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I don't understand, because I figured, this is exactly what I said. when you and I streamed, William, was that maybe they're making this to go with the Amazing Spider-Man limited figure. But if they're going to be two different heights, it doesn't make sense when they're supposed to be from the Amazing Spider-Man, line. So that's kind of weird.
Oh, I see.
Maybe Hano's its own scale,
Let's start that conversation.
You're saying because Hot Toys supersizes oversizes everything all the time.
Jazz Inc. gets correct. All right.
It's funny, but I'm literally saying maybe the Hano line is just their own scale because they're ripped from comics.
It's the
you
one.
Can't say we have a person that is X amount of height tall and we can deduce to 6 scale from that. It's kind of something they make up. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's specific heights in the comic. I don't know.
But I saw a video. I saw a video of the Hano Wolverine, and they compared it to other figures, and it looked like it was in.
No, it looked great. That
He
Wolverine
said it was short. The guy I saw said it was short.
Oh, it was okay.
Short.
He said it was very short.
which is supposed to be, right?
Wolverine 5'3".
Right, exactly. 5'2", I thought. Was it 5'3"?
That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be that short. So I think it's a separate scaling system with these Hano figures.
I don't think they're going out of their way, more like in my way. We got Jawad Elatab. Welcome. Nice to see ya. IMP. Let's see. Albert, he says, this is -3. This guy.
He's fucking with me.
It's caca.
Tuli would say he was an actual 12 inches tall at 11.8.
They should have just continued giving us X-Men figures. This is unnecessary. So it looks like Tuli might be getting two of these. Yes, a Hulk would be sick.
Comic book Hulk.
And then I'm gonna go with you, Jay. Tell us everything about this figure. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? What do you think they could improve, if anything? And how do you feel about the accessories and the suit?
Well, you don't have to choose for starters. They gave us the VGM one. Right. If you want the better version, get the better version. But for somebody like me, that's a Spidey enthusiast, I love this thing. I also have the Mezco version. I love that. It's a simple suit. There's not a lot you can do to make it crazy. I'm glad they didn't add a bunch of crazy lines in it to try to make it look more modern or any of that bullshit.
More fancy, yeah.
Yeah, like I like what it is. And seeing Dan on LWO the other night say that the suit on his Wolverine is a lot thicker than it looks in photography. That gave me a lot of hope that this thing is not going to look as cheap as it looks in the photos.
Correct. And the fact that I didn't watch that, but the fact that they're using a thicker suit, that is quality. You know what I mean? Yeah. That shows quality because they could easily give you, I'm not saying this is it, but something that looks like this, something cheap looking, something that when you get in here and you're like, oh, this is why this is $160. Yeah. And the fact that it's thicker, it shows that it's not.
And I've asked for this from day one. I said, I want a comic book line that doesn't come with a billion stupid dioramic stuff and accessories because I don't want to pay the extra money for all that garbage. I don't use it.
That just give me the box anyway.
I want it to look like it jumped off a comic book. I don't see a lot of people love Hot Toys for the movie Masterpiece series because everything looks so realistic. I also love that for Star Wars and things like that. But when it comes to my comics, I want comic book representation more than I want the actors. I don't use any of the head sculpts with my Spider-Man figures. None of them. I want Spider-Man. I don't want Tom Holland. I don't want whoever the fuck, you know what I mean? Right. So I'm coming from it from a different angle. So this thing to me is great because it's cheap. It looks like the comics. It's a bigger version of something I already have. The downside to it is you're not getting a lot with this figure, but I'm cool with the bendy wire and the backpack. Right. I wish they would start to do the thing with these hands pisses me off. They do it with all the Spider-Men. They still give you the glossy hand, even though the suit has texture. You're telling me they can't put a little bit of that texture on the hands as well? And this thing,
mean, like matte it up?
Yeah, this thing. Why do they give you the glossy hands every time you get a Spider-Man, but the suit's not glossy? So this guy's clearly doesn't have a glossy look to him. Put a matte clear coat on those hands. It's just a clear spray. It's that simple. It cost them pennies, nothing to do it. And they never do it with any of these Spider-Man. It makes me crazy.
Did you notice there's actual texture on the gloves too? If you really pay attention on the gloves, you actually have, it's not like a smooth paint application.
Yeah, we'll
It's
get rid of
actually-
the shine and it'd be perfect. Why have one and not the other? Why go halfway? You know. But that's what people don't like about this figure too. Is like, why go halfway? They're like, look at the sticker on the front. It's a iron-on. You know. So it is what it is for the price you're paying. What do you want? You know what I mean? I'm gonna put this with all the other Hono figures in a nice comic book display.
Right.
And so far, I like everything I've seen from everything they put out.
And Joker J also has a quick turnaround compared to what we.
That's a beautiful thing too. I mean, look how quick that Wolverine's out. We barely even were talking about it the other week, and it's already here.
This is Q4 of this year.
Yep, Q4. That's right.
But see, I would take an argument too, like if somebody's like, well, why do we have this one? I want a better version. And granted, I am blessed at this position in my life to have some flexible income where I can get the VGM one and get this one. Not everybody can do that. I understand. But you're not, no matter what's going on right now, you have options. So there's no reason for anybody to complain. If you don't like it, get the other one.
Right.
But you know me, I love harsh criticism too. I find it funny. I like when Thule shits on it and whatnot. So, you know, but in reality, there's no reason to actually like be like, this is costing us. It's not costing you a movie masterpiece line. It's not like we could have a different figure. You'll get different figures. You'll get a Hulk in this. I don't know how they're going to do a cheap Hulk, but you'll get it. You're going to get Thor. You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Hulk
I don't.
will be the first one at 200.
What?
Hulk will be the first figure at 200.
Well, I was just gonna say, the Hulk will not be $150, $170. It'll be 100% less than any Hot Toys price would be, but it's not going to be, you know, don't expect anything $100 and something for a Hulk, because whatever Hulk they decide to make anyway, it's got to be animated, you know, cartoon style, comic book style, so it's got to be big anyway.
Fact. Can you imagine the Hulk with a string that you pull in the back? It says Hulk Smash.
Hulk Smash. Imagine. So one thing I wanted to bring up for you, Jay, was, do you, since obviously you're a big fan of this figure and you own the small one, the muscularity of it, do you think having the muscle tone is important? Do you think, you know, having a more muscular body is important?
No.
Spider-Man was, well, it depends on the artist. Yeah, okay. You could have a complaint there, I guess. Now the more I think about it, for me, it's perfect. I like the black suit Spider-Man was slender from the look on the Secret Wars, like Will showed us. Yeah. I bought that comic off the rack first day it came out. I remember this like it was yesterday. But one of the odd things I actually remember. But so the VGM one that just came out, the glossy one, I thought looked a little too rectangular. He almost didn't have like the body cut-ins and whatnot. So I kind of like that this is a fabric suit over a muscular body that's not too muscular. He's slender, but he's got he's almost got that Natalie Portman physique from the last character, you know. But he's supposed to be that way. So
don't be transphobic, okay?
He's also an amazing Spider-Man as well, you know, comic book version from Huno.
Yeah, I like this thing. This thing hits with me on all fronts, man. I'm very happy.
Do you know if Huno is only going to do Marvel and not DC? I mean, they're doing comic books, right? Are they going to dive into DC lines comic book version?
I think.
Boy, that's a great question.
Well, I think eventually. I think it's just part of the game. I think it's part of the process, right? They're getting their name out there with, you know, classic figures at the moment. You know, big deal figures at the moment. Not that, you know, a Superman, a Wonder Woman, a Flash, you know, none of those would be big. But I feel like when it comes to trying to get attention, I think Marvel is the more mainstream, especially now. So I think that's why they're starting with that, but I don't think that all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, you know, we're never going to make DC. Like, absolutely not. I think they're doing something in order, just like I feel like Hot Toys always does. But eventually we're going to start getting DC, and anything that makes sense regarding comic book lines, I think eventually Hono is going to start. But again, there's so much for them to make just from Marvel alone right now that they could, you know, it could be, you know, months down the line for them to, or maybe, you know, over a year down the line for them to start teasing and announcing DC figures. I'm going to ask Mike about the muscularity of the figure. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it matters or not really?
No, I think it kind of looks. It looks literally. It looks kind copied from the Mezco figure. I mean, it's got the same super thin frame, and yeah, I mean that's I don't know, that's comic booky, right? That I feel that's off the comic book mimic.
And how do you feel about the bendable strings? Do you think that's actually like a cool thing, or do you not care for that?
No, I don't care about that.
Foul.
You do? You're excited about your bendy wire?
Well, I think it's cool that we're getting something different from a cheaper company. Like I said on the stream a couple days ago with William, the fact that Hot Toys hasn't even done that. And again,
that's cheaper company. This is Hot Toys.
No. Yes, but not yes and no, right? So my thing is Hot Toys hasn't done it, meaning Hot Toys blend.
All right. Let me I gotta speak some truth. Okay, the reality of these figures coming out is to make you not complain that Hot Toys have got so expensive. That's why they're doing this.
I mean, yes,
they're doing this to say, look at this over here. These are cheap, and we're gonna keep raising the prices on the figures that should be in this price range.
To a certain extent, I get that you could look at it that way. I don't think that that was the main goal, right? Because think about this. For example, we're talking about this black suit Spider-Man specifically. We got the VGM one from the video game Spider-Man 2. Completely different figures altogether, right? One is fancier, one is more expensive. The other one, came with the legs. You have a regular and an exclusive SKU for it. So two completely different worlds when it comes to the figure. Now, if let's say that was the case, let's say, all right, guys, this is Hot Toys, and we're going to start a new company to give them a cheaper product. The moment I see, right, I'm talking about myself. If I see the VGM Spider-Man, a black suit Spider-Man, right, the Peter Parker black suit, and I see this, okay, and I see the price differences, and I see the differences in the actual figure and suit and accessories and stuff, I personally, right, I'm not saying nobody would, I'm talking about myself. I personally wouldn't sit there trying to decide which one I want better, right? Which one, should I get this one because of the price, or should I get this one? I will always go for the best, right? Period. Just because that's just me. But also, with what comes with the best is everything else. So you get, if it's a diorama, you get a diorama. If it's an exclusive, you get an exclusive. With the Hono, it doesn't look like they're getting into, at least as of right now, it doesn't look like they're getting into any of that. Again, it could be to not give it too much hype where they have to increase the price. So I understand that. But to see them as like competition where I get to pick this one or this one because of the price, it could be. Again, I don't think that's the main goal, but I don't think that is how people will take it. Will take them doing these two completely different companies, because they're not even going to be giving us the same exact figure. So you can't even look at it like that. What were you saying, Jay?
I think Mike's correct in the way that, like, it could also be the quick, like the drug dealer do. I'll give you a little taste. It's like, this will get the people that complain that these things are expensive. This will get them to come to the table, and then they're like, well, I could get this, but for a couple bucks more, I could get the other one. And it kind of suckers some people in. It satiates people like me that like the old comic book stuff, that there's a lot of us in the community that have been talking about this type of thing. And what it does is, what you're seeing, like you were talking about when this came out the other day, is the price of it is kind of odd compared to the Wolverine. You're getting less stuff and the price is a little higher. And then I made a joke about, wouldn't it be funny if this is the new standard price for Hot Toys, and Hot Toys standard prices that we used to know now are artisan prices to compete within art? So are we being fed a slow drip that suddenly this line is going to be $220 across the board, the way Hot Toys standard figures used to be, like Troopers, and all of our other stuff is going to go up because we're already seeing it now? $300 is the common standard figure, and this thing is close to $200 when you tack on sideshow, tax, and shipping.
See,
you're not getting this thing for $175 unless you get it overseas with free shipping or whatever. But if you get it from sideshow, this thing's $200.
See, that's a great point, and I'm going to tell you why I don't think that's the case, even though it's going to apply to some people. When you, and this is exactly what I said before, you're getting two completely different products at two completely different prices with two completely different brands, right? So yes, you're going to have the few people who are going to say, hey, I can't afford the real one, the legit one, the Hot Toys one, the expensive one, the deluxe one. I can't. Here is Hono with this cheaper product, this cheaper figure, this cheaper everything. The problem is, this is just one example of, being able to say, hey, let me get the VGM over this Hono one. Hot Toys and Hono are not going to keep making the same exact figure over and over and over to give us the option of saying, hey, Hono's making this Iron Man. Let me get this one because the Hot Toys is too expensive. That'll never happen. It's not going to happen. And there will never be a situation, again, not never, but not often, that you're going to have Hono and Hot Toys making the same exact figure, obviously one cheaper than the other, to have people decide, oh, let me get this one because it's a little bit cheaper and I'm going to get the same exact thing. You're not getting the same exact thing because it's not supposed to be the same exact thing, which is why again, specifically on this figure with the black suit compared to the VGM, two different worlds at two different prices by two different companies. Yes, we can say, well, Hot Toys is Hono and Hono is Hot Toys. Yes, but clearly, why are they branding it differently? Because they want to be known as something else. Yes, we know that the case is that Hot Toys most likely owns Hono. Fine. But they still want to be known as their own company, which is why they're giving us the type of product they're giving us, the type of price point that they're giving us. And I don't think they want to commingle and intermingle the two companies because it's supposed to be different altogether.
Well, that's the thing. They can't. They have to rebrand it because their budgetary allowances are completely different. And if they try to put this under a VGM line, they wouldn't even have. They'd have to put it under the comic line. But if they came out with this as straight up comic Hot Toys, people would be like, "What the hell? This is not what we are used to." So they have to rebrand to drop the budget. You know what I mean?
Absolutely correct. So if perfect example you just made. If Hot Toys decided to come out with this, right, with something like this, first of all, they would never come out with anything like this. That's number one. Okay, never. If they decided to come out with something like it, right, like for example, a Spider-Man figure. What is the most basic Spider-Man figure we got? The most basic Spider-Man figure we've gotten to date. It's fancier than this thing right here. So anything coming from Hot Toys will always be somewhat better, somewhat more advanced, somewhat more well done, when it comes to outfit, when it comes to materials, when it comes to all of that, right? So talking about, that Hot Toys had to come out with a different company, yeah, that's all understandable. That's all, that's all perfectly fine. But my point of that is that they're not going to make the same exact figures for us to be able to choose and pick. Hey, let me pick the cheaper one because I don't want to spend this money. That's my point. They're not going to give us. So again, this is the very first example. These two black suit Spider-Man, one VGM by Hot Toys and this Hono one. You're not going to sit there debating, hey, which one do I really want? Actually, obviously, it can happen, right? There are people who say, man, do I really want to spend this money? Should I go with the black one? Can it happen? Of course. But I can guarantee you that is not going to be the case with every single figure because, again, Hot Toys and Hono.
You're telling me no one's debating the Hono Wolverine and the new Wolverine coming out for the movie?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I just said it can happen. That's not what I'm not saying that it'll never happen. No, I'm saying it can happen.
I think that's happening a lot.
But how is that happening a lot? But it's already it's literally just one figure out right now. Which
they didn't make a Magneto though.
I think it's it's gonna be more and more. This economy is not good.
Right. So here you go. So Wolverine. So the ones we can compare at the moment are the Wolverine Hono, the Wolverine Hot Toys. Right. So if anybody who has to decide whether if they want the animated comic book style or the movie, obviously that's up to them. Right now you got VGM, Spider-Man, and
stop. Going too fast. Hono Wolverine, $150.
Right.
Movie Wolverine, $330.
Right.
And you're telling me a guy who's making $50,000 a year and he's got a mortgage. Let me tell you, he's looking at that huge price difference.
Right.
And I bet you he's going Hono every day of the week at this point.
But absolutely they can because that's their choice. But that's not everybody, number one. And number two, even though they're both a Wolverine, they're not the same Wolverine. So yes, if your problem is money, then you're going to go for cheaper. But if money's not a problem, what are you going for? The one that you like the most. And there are going to be people who don't like the movie one anyway, and they're going to go with the regular one and save that money. And you're going to have people who don't like the basic one, and they'll go for the movie one because they like Hot Toys movie stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be the mainstream going for Hono every time. Absolutely not. It's not happening. If anything, you're going to have guys buying the Hot Toys and going for the Hono as well because it's cheap.
I bet you the Hono is going to get really, really well because
it could.
People
absolutely.
are cheap.
No, I'm not
want the cheaper option.
Correct. I'm not saying that people aren't trying to look to save money. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you have to think not only of money in this case, not only of money in this hobby, because it's way beyond that. Yes, we could focus on money all we want. And obviously, who wouldn't want to save money? Everybody. But if you really get down to the psychology of how collectors think, which we all don't think the same way, especially me and you, we collect the same thing and we collect completely different stuff, right? And we're pretty much on the same level of collecting, right? We can't assume that everybody thinks like that, like us. And I tend to do that. I always put myself in a general, in the general population of collecting, when my mentality is completely different than everybody else. Right. So I can't assume that everybody's going to collect my way, and you can't assume that everybody is going to collect your way, because everybody's different. And that's my point. We're perfect example that Jay mentioned, the Magneto. So that means, right, if what you're saying is correct, that we're going to be able to pick between a Hot Toys and a Hono figure every single time, then that means that Hot Toys has to come out with a Magneto from somewhere at some point. Where would that Magneto come from? To obviously give us the choice and the option. Oh man, I don't want to spend all this money on this Magneto because it's Hot Toys and it's more expensive and there's a deluxe and blah, blah, blah. Let me go with the Hono one. So where will we get a Magneto from by Hot Toys? That's my point. So this is not going to happen every single time. It's happened twice already with the Wolverine. Again, not the same exact product, two completely different products, same character with two completely different looks.
Same character, same scale.
So that's my point. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen
from a new collector. I think how it should be looked at is from a new collector, from someone brand new. They might have one Hot Toy, and here they are, and they're staring at a $350 Wolverine and a $150 Wolverine, and they're gonna, the $150 Wolverine doesn't look too shabby compared to the $350.
Correct. But again, exactly. So now we're getting two great quality figures, right? Great quality, great looking, great everything, right? So again, it's not always about the money, because you're going to have people buying them both. So that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, everybody, now that there's two options, Hono and Hot Toys, we have to pick one or the other. Not going to happen like that. Yes,
we're in a weird mindset as collectors too, that we think $150, $175 figure is cheap.
Correct.
We're like, crazy. Oh yeah, that's nothing. That's pennies, and it's like, well, it really isn't. Like, there was a day where I looked at that and I was like, "There's no way I'm spending that." Now I got a room filled with that shit,
exactly.
And
exactly. Nathan, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa means what's up.
I said, sorry on here late. I'm sure that I will come up with something soon enough to give William a hard time and irritate Mike.
Who is this? He's irritating me.
No, Nathan's saying he'll find something. Nathan says, they have made great choices with the initial Hono releases. If they keep cracking out common characters, I will keep buying. See? So now Nathan's also a big deal collector. So Nathan, I'm going to ask you a question. So as a collector, your own mentality, your own mindset, how would you do this? You right now have Wolverine from Hono, right? And you have the Wolverine from Deadpool. Which one are you getting and why? And obviously, like I said, he's a big collector. He buys a lot. But I want to see your mentality. And and I'm going to ask you also. Oh, this guy's leaving. All right. Thank you for being here, Albert. I was going to ask you a question too. But all right. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. I appreciate it. Let me see who I can ask. Who is more of a beginner collector in the chat right now? Somebody please let me know, because I want to get your mentality on how you would pick from the two options. Let me see who I could get uncarded. No, he collects.
Ask Gina. She thinks we're all crazy.
Gina, where is she? She left.
I don't
We
know. She should
got I
still
Am
be there.
Legend in the house. Wait, where's I Am Legend? I just saw I Am Legend. Am I bugging? Oh, here it is. I think people don't want this to water down and make their collection look cheap. Well, that's the thing. Well, first of all, welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up?
So
Okay, wait a minute. On that too, with collections being cheap, it's all how you display it. I have stuff that's 6 scale, 12 scale, 10 scale. I've got old 3 3/4 stuff. If you display it, and here's my Hot Toys figures, my 6 scale over here, here's my Legends over here, here's whatever, and you make it look nice, you can have any scale you want. I've never bought into that shit about like this thing doesn't go with this. Well, then don't put it with that. Like, use your imagination. Don't be limited by this stuff.
100%. Like, there's been a Marvel Legends collection that I have said that looks amazing, and yeah, they're cheap $20 figures, but yeah, it doesn't make the I don't look at that as a cheap collection. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
I don't look down at that collector at all.
Bob says you buy both, you end up paying $750, and you played yourself. The real Hot Toys Endgame.
Exactly.
Yep. But I did it with a smile.
Exactly. Let me tell you something.
From the front and the back.
Let me tell you something. If you're a collector, at the end of the day, if you see something that you like, you're going to get it regardless. Period. It's just that simple. Obviously, there are going to be things that you may see and be like, this is not for me. This is too expensive. This doesn't belong with my collection. Blah blah blah. But I can tell you, the moment any collector out there, right, that sees something they like, I don't think price will ever be a problem. Look at this Mark 6 with the gantry, 600 plus. You know how many people are getting this for retail? Thousands. Okay. So I don't think that matters at the end of the day. If it's something that you really, really want, period. It's that simple. But like anything else, there are going to be people who will obviously love saving that money and try to not overdo it with the Hot Toys releases. But when it comes to being cheap, I don't think any collector sitting there going, well, I'm collecting the cheap way. Obviously, the only one is William. But besides that, everybody else, posts and buys and tries to at least get everything for as cheap as possible. But
like, based on that rationale, if you get those J&D figures that cost like $2,000 a piece or whatever, can you not display them next to your Hot Toys? Does it make your whole Hot Toys collection look cheap? Right. I don't buy that at all.
Right. That doesn't make sense. But so, it gets tricky, and it all comes down to your personal choice, period. That's it. It's whatever fits your budget, whatever you want, whatever you like, and whatever you could use other people's, advice and way of collecting and the things they do. That's up to you. But at the end of the day, guess what? If somebody's buying every single Hot Toys figure and you can't, you're not going to try to go buy every single Hot Toys figure because you can't, right? So what do? You adjust to what you're able to do. You adjust to your budget. You adjust to the size of the room that you're going to keep your collectibles in, which is why a lot of people are constantly buying and selling, right? They'll sell something to be able to buy something new, to be able to keep and maintain that room to whatever size collection they want, which there's nothing wrong with, because guess what? That's what fits and works for them, right? Which is why every single situation when it comes down to collecting is very different for everybody, right? I don't expect everybody to say, oh yeah, I buy everything. Some people may, right? But that's not the case for everybody. People are very, very picky. And again, especially because they're getting so expensive as they go, as time goes on. Brad says, Mike and Joker J are on fire. Cassandra says, here we go, Fabs and Mike, to agree, disagree. Don't go home. This guy, unbelievable. MMS all day, every day. See, there you go. So here you got a hardcore Hot Toys fan that most likely won't bother with Hono, because of whatever reason, right? It could be, I don't like it because it's cheap. I don't like it because it doesn't belong with my Hot Toys. I don't like it because it looks like a, like an oversized Mezco or whatever. People have their own opinions. It's not always about price. And as you can see, MMS all day. So what he's saying by this is, I don't care about buying and paying for what Hot Toys makes because it always makes me happy. I never have any complaints. I know the company's king. I know the company makes the best of the best of the best of every single product. This is why I will always stick to MMS. This is what I see from this. Again, other people will say the complete opposite. I will not keep spending money on MMS because everything's so expensive. Hono is more appealing to me now. And that's what it is.
All we can definitely agree on is that the prices are going up across the board. Third-party companies are asking standard Hot Toys prices now. They're giving you more accessories. You're getting a little more bang for your buck, but you're also spending a lot more, and that ain't going to change. So this hobby is becoming more exclusionary by the day.
Chris says, damn, this debate is better than Biden versus Trump debate.
That was rough.
There was nothing better than that debate. Come on.
That was rough.
Oh man. This is for you, Mike.
Wrong.
In honor of Joe Biden, I slept right through it.
No, I had to watch it just to see what it was going to be about. And immediately after it was over, oh yeah, President Biden had the flu and he had a cold, and I was like, oh, here we go with the excuses. Literally immediately after it was over. That's why he was so raspy. Shut the hell up.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the Adderall wore off.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, and did you notice when he would be talking, he'd be like this. He'd start talking like this. He'd be like, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, like,
dude,
that,
it's sad. We have to laugh because it's sad. This guy's
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nathan says, I actually think the movie one will be lowering sales of the Hono one if people were just picking one. That's the thing. Exactly. So me, for example, I'm not buying just one, right? I need to get 2 Wolverines from the movie to get the both looks. And I'm definitely going to get the Hono. So none of that price stuff bothers me. As long as you want something, you're going to get it regardless. Obviously, it's up to the person to budget, to figure out what they can buy, what they can spend on. And, that goes individually for everybody separately, And let me see. Bob says, exactly, 200 ain't nothing. Well,
this strikes a nostalgia nerve for me too. That's what it really is. It's like, it can be kind of cheap because that's okay. I grew up with kind of cheap stuff in the 70s. We didn't have this cool stuff. So it reminds me of it's got that nostalgic kick too, that I think some younger people are not into. They want something that's more their generation. And I get it.
Right. So that's another thing. A younger collector, right? Somebody who has to be very picky about everything, right? But they love the Deadpool 3 movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, do you think
children of today are used to having options too? We didn't have options in the 70s. If you had this figure in the 70s, this would make your whole year if you had something that looked this cool. You know what I mean? Granted, we're not in the 70s. I get that. I'm just saying, like, I can still appreciate things on that level. People today can't, because it's like they're used to getting what they want. They have 17 choices on the menu all the time, everywhere they go. They don't have to settle. So I get some of the arguments.
Right. Nathan says, "Oh, I'm buying them both. I think some people that we're going to buy Hono see that unavailable Hot Toys one and will just drop buying that one for the Hot Toy. It is just so much better." So there you go. So he's buying both. I'm buying both. So I can guarantee you that it'll be more justifiable for collectors who are already buying regular Hot Toys to buy that extra Hono. And if that means, that means Hot Toys is making more money off of us by giving us more product and not forcing us, but making us buy, a $175 Wolverine on top of a $330 Wolverine. So if you're going to complain about that, then why are you collecting? Why are you in the collecting community? You either don't buy it, or if it's something that you like and it's appealing and it'll look great in your collection, where is the complaint? You're going to buy it anyway, So that's why I don't think, it comes down to picking and choosing. Yes, it's going to be a thing, right? Not for everybody. but for many people it will be. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it comes down to picking and choosing, or they're gonna always give us two options, one Hot Toys and one Hono, to have them battle against each other. I highly doubt that 100%. Let me see where you guys are catching up, and then we'll get right into the
I don't have the energy. I mean, I was gonna say something. I don't have the energy.
Just go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Let it out.
No, I don't want to do it.
Let it out. Nathan.
I just think you're looking at it wrong. I think any major collector, anyone's got 100 Hot Toys is gonna buy both. Okay. I'm talking about the guys that you're kind of your average collector, the guy who's got 5, 10, 25. And again, it's from the same company. And again, I'm coming from the point of view, it's the same company. Hono and Hot Toys, same thing. So they have one version of their figure that I know it's not the same thing, but I think the people will pick that cheaper option.
Well, look at,
again, not the serious nut collector like you, Fabs. I'm talking about your casual.
Well, here's an example of somebody that's not like me. Will, I'm not a new collector, and I'm getting both Wolverines. However, if I had to pick one, I'd go with Hono Wolverine comic version first for me. So it comes down to not only, not necessarily always the price, but nostalgia, which one you like better, which one you relate to better, which one brings you, more memories, more positive memories of your childhood. So this is my point. It's not only about the money. It'll never be only about the money when we're talking about collecting, because there's more meaning behind any figure to any person out there in the hobby, period. And that's my point. It'll never be strictly about money. Yes, it'll be about money to certain people who are always focused on the money. Absolutely. But overall is what I'm talking about. Overall, you're going to have people wanting both, because people...
Look, they had to make this. InArt caused this, just so everybody realizes, I hope. No, I'm dead serious, though. I know it's funny, but seriously, InArt caused this because when they came out, people started calling Hot Toys the cheap, not brother. You know what I mean? Like they became the step brother all of a sudden. They're like, no, we can't have that. So they said, we're going to come out with Artisan line to combat. We're going to get involved with the InArt crowd. Then they saw how much people are consistently paying for InArt figures. And they're like, okay, there's a market. We can raise our prices a little. Plus the state of the economy right now, we could kind of get away with it. Let's bump everything up. But by doing that, they exclude a certain group of people that might be more integral to our collecting than we realize, that might help keep the bills paid. Because when you see the polls that people put out about how many figures people buy a year on average, it's very, very low. The people on this panel and the people that are in our chats we're the exception to the rule. So I think by them having to raise prices to stay in line with InArt, and because they could and make more money, they didn't want to exclude the lower tier customer, which is a big portion of their income. So they created a lower tier entry line, and that's how we ended up with Hono.
And Thule nailed it just there. Thule's like, look at they're getting the third party money. You know what I mean? If there's a third party Toy Wolverine for 180, and you got the Hono, which I'm sure it's going to be better at 150, they're going to. That's the deal,
yes. So
right?
that too. So that
too. And it satisfies collectors that want comics. Like, there's so many reasons for them to do this. That's why I said their marketing team is very smart.
Well, so that's my point. It was never about competing with each other. It was never about, pick a Hot Toys or a Hono. Never. That would never happen. Hot Toys would never allow that, and they would never compete with themselves, even though they announced and released figures that will make you decide or make you want to decide between one or the other. Right, that's happened plenty, and people and
they're not competing with themselves. They're getting all the money.
No. That's not. I don't mean in that
Whether
sense.
you buy the cheaper, the expensive, they win.
No. What I'm saying is there have been, plenty of times there have been announcements made by Hot Toys where, for example, Scarlet Witch. So you had WandaVision Scarlet Witch, and you had a Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch. Very, very close together when it came out for the announcement for pre-order, right? They're both out right now at the same, not the same time, but they're both out right now at the moment. You could still pick and choose whichever one you want. They're both still available. My point is, when that happened, people who hadn't pre-ordered the WandaVision saw that the Multiverse of Madness came out after, and now they had a choice. Now they said which, and that happened a lot because not everybody wanted both. So
Remember Chromando?
huh?
Chromando? Remember that fiasco?
Well, so correct. So
They just
that's
did it again with the Batman Armory.
exactly. So they do this to themselves all the time. And we could take it as, well, they're competing with themselves because we know not everybody's going to get them both. Even though they're completely different figures, they're going to choose which one they like better out of the two. So that to me is more of a competition with themselves than coming out with a Hono line and having Hot Toys and having us picking between a Hot Toys and a Hono. That will never happen. But when it comes to third party, that's where Hono comes in to take away from present toys, to take away from so-so toys. That's where that comes in. And that's where it makes more sense. But to compete with, I'd rather take the Hono over the Hot Toys. I could tell you this. If that happens, that is not their goal at all.
It is. It is.
He said it is.
It is because there are so many. I guarantee you, there are so many people out there saying, "Damn, I would love that Wolverine. I don't have 330, 340, but you know what? I got $150."
Well, again, it's
and then the instant gratification. They got something,
correct.
And guess what? Hot Toys has got the market share no matter what. They got the dollars, which that's all it is. Whether they get the dollars on the low end or the high end. They're getting all the goddamn dollars.
Absolutely. No, and that's their goal. Their goal is to monopolize the entire market if they could and just have, Hot Toys as the main company and then Hono as the third party and leave everybody else because leave everybody else out because nobody else, could do what they do when it comes to quality, when it comes to product, when it comes to, the speed, the turnaround of product, especially Hono now, So it's you can't compete with them. You can't compete with them.
And that's why it was smart to not call themselves Hot Toys. Like it was, I think, smart to try to give the illusion that it's a separate company.
Yeah, instead of just giving another line like comics line, video game line, movie masterpiece line, instead of just doing that again, change the branding.
There's too many as it is. Let's be honest. Like they got a little away from themselves as far as the TMS, CMS, ATS. ASS. There's too many.
And a bunch of you guys just jumped into the chat. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. I know you guys left from the other stream, but don't be a peasant and hit that like button. And
in other words, welcome.
No, you're not going to use me as your backup stream. Okay, so hit that like button, peasants. So here we go. Chris says that's why I'm getting into statue collecting 1/4, 1/4, and 1/3. Oh my god, you're crazy. Nathan says, I'm sure everybody here at some point was like, I'm not paying for that figure, for a figure. Then you get the first one in hand, and there you go. So exactly. Until you experience it in hand, that's what changes your entire world when it comes to any company, right? Any company. You can look at pictures all day long. It'll never be the same as having any product in hand. And with that, guys, we're going to get into the Joker's review on the Gandalf, because it seems like there is a huge what's the word?
Move.
Well, no. So there's something going on with the figure that I want Joker Jay to talk about. So go ahead, Jay.
All right. So you guys have all seen this thing 1,000 times, so I'm not going to go through all the shit, but some of the finer things about it, like this book that they give you, is pretty dope, right? I put the butterfly on there. That's the butterfly or the moth, whatever it is that he talks to on top of Isengard that he uses to summon the birds. And this has all got writing in it all the way through. Everything opens up. Every page is slightly different. Cool stuff like that. His little pipe is made of an alloy, so it's got some weight to it.
Yeah, I think for crack, you need that.
This is what I was trying to do is analyze, is this figure worth all the money that they charge for it? And what are we doing here? Are we really getting rooked again, or are we moving up in quality? So I was telling Fabio, I said, like, all these little accessories are hefty. Like, this thing has some weight to it. They're nice. They're not giving you a bunch of crap, but there are some things about the figure that are not so great.
Is that Groot's leg?
Huh?
Is that Groot's leg?
No. It's a Slim Jim I was chewing on earlier. But no.
Slim Jim.
So his little shard here that he puts in the end of his staff. Now, in order to light this up, they give you these little magnetic. They're like batteries, and then you push the battery up against the connector, and it lights that little light up. Very cool little feature. But it fits down in this staff. Now there's a nipple on the end of this thing, this shard. So when you push it down in there, by the time you're done getting this thing lit up and stuck in there, it's so far down in the shaft you actually have to use tweezers to get it back out. Because
Put it
you
more
need
in the center, Jay, because you're taking it off camera. There you go.
You need to pull it apart to get it to shut off. So it's either you can put it on once and stick it in there and never take it out, and the battery's going to die overnight, or you got to use tweezers to get it out. That's you shouldn't have to use tweezers. I don't know. That's weird. They give you 2 staffs, though. Here's the other one, the normal one. But now here's one of the weird things. There's a little piece of thread on here that they cut through the staff.
Center it. You
Oh,
keep taking
sorry.
it out of
You should see where this is on the camera. It's like I'm way over on the side, but okay. So this little strap here that they put on is, for some reason, I don't know. I don't remember there ever being a strap on there. It must be accurate to the movie, though. This thing, I just tried to fidget with it a little bit, and it broke apart in my hands twice.
Oh, man.
And it's just a little piece of string. Like, have you ever had string disintegrate in your hand? Never in my life. So that's a minor pick. But it's just like, what the hell? You know, I've never had string do that. That's so weird. So all right. So here we go, right? So the head sculpt is amazing. We all knew that. That's why we purchased this thing in the first place. My camera sucks. You're not going to be able to see him real well. But everybody has seen all the reviews before.
There it is.
But he looks great.
No,
I mean,
I saw that head sculpt, and that thing is a 10 all day long.
In fact, I put the movies on today, and I realized his hair doesn't look this good in the movies. His beard is not this bushy in the movies. So they really went the extra step. They really overdid it, quite frankly, right? So he's cool. Love the hat. Hat's got bendy wire in it. But now I didn't pose him up or do anything, because this is what I don't like with the Leia and the Mysterio, these pleated things that they give us. After sitting in the box, these things they conform to the clamshell. Like, look at the back is all wonky and looks like shit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take a steamer to this guy and steam that out. I'm gonna steam the other robe that comes with him.
Bob says, does the torso seem thin? I feel like it looks too thin in most photos I've seen.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So here's the other robe coming out of the box. Okay? Look how this thing is all wrinkled, right? I got to I'm not going to put this on the figure yet. So you're going to have to get a steamer or an iron or some hot water or whatever to kind of futz with this thing before you can leave it alone. So I like doing that, but people that might not like doing that might have an issue with it. Luckily, I did not get the golden Cheerio. I actually got a really good one ring. It's etched. I looked at it with a magnifying glass.
Yes, that's legit. Like straight gold, nicely painted, engraved. Yep, that looks beautiful.
Very shiny, very cool. Yep. The letter, and some authenticity thing. And look, they gave me more of that string because they knew that the string is garbage. Same reason Hot Toys gives you wrist pegs, because they know you're going to snap them. So that to me is an admittance of guilt. Your Honor. This, I gotta say, this sword is die cast, and the weight of this thing just feels so satisfying. Like, anybody that's got Iron Man figures knows how satisfying it is to pick one of those things up in your hand and just feel the weight of it. Like, so there's a lot of.
You said that's die cast?
Yeah, it's die cast. You could use it as a letter opener. It's just not sharp. So, and here we go. Here's the magnet, right? It can't hold up. The feet can't hold the magnet because of the weight of the base. See, as soon as I let go, it's falling off. I'm not pulling it apart. I'm just moving my hand down.
So the magnets aren't strong enough.
But he stands up. I mean, I'm moving him around, so he stands up without falling over.
Wait,
the ankles.
The magnets are not strong enough, is what you're saying?
Well, they might be. I don't know. Talon was saying look out for it. So we'll see. We'll see. That's yet to be determined.
Doesn't that base have the bottom compartment where you adjust the magnets?
Well, they changed that, and in the insert booklet it's supposed to, but this one doesn't look like it does at all.
Oh my god! So you got the like the old school.
But I think I got the original base, but they updated the instruction booklet. So here's the problem I ran into. When I took this thing out, the hand fell off. This hand fell off right out of the box, and it's not going to do it right now. But what happened was they give you a wrist peg, this is what's weird about this. They give you a wrist peg, but then they put a little magnet inside the peg. Then
yeah, that's what they did with the Joker.
Right. So then you have the hand and you also have the magnet in there. Well, last night the magnet came out of the peg and was stuck in the hand. But once you pushed it back on, there's enough of a little nipple on the end of the wrist peg. You don't even need the magnets. So what is the point of even having them? They don't really do anything. Unless they added them as an extra way to try to help hold the weight of the die-cast pipe and sword. Maybe, but that's all I can think of. Otherwise, I see no reason for them at all. So this is where I got screwed. So this thing fell off because the magnet came unglued. Well, on the other hand, they had put so much glue on the magnet that it had gotten out around the inside of the hand and it was stuck on my wrist. So when I pulled the hand off, I had to be kind of aggressive, and I didn't even realize I did it, but apparently I ripped the back of his sleeve pretty good too, as you can see.
Good thing you know Luch. He's a good sewer.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
It doesn't look like anything though. Look, he's all tattered as it is.
Well, that's at first I thought maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, because he's clearly got a tear right here that is part of the movie. But when I looked at everybody else's reviews online, I was like, no, that's not supposed to be there. I did that.
Maybe you got the deluxe.
No. So I'm going to sew that up because I can do that, and it'll be fine. But I felt like that if you had seen the way that had transpired, there's no reason this thing should have ripped. I didn't even have it in my grasp. Maybe my finger caught it or something. It's such bullshit. So I'm a little annoyed about that. So there's some cons, like I said, so far. The way the head sits on it right now, he's kind of got a tilt to him, and I think that's because of the glue and the magnet again. I'm not a fan of these magnets so far. So once I take him off and adjust the eyes and futz the whole thing, we'll see how that works out. But to Bob's question about the body, what I did notice is these bodies are, well, this body is slimmer. I can't speak on the other ones. I don't have them. But this body is definitely thinner. It's got a lighter feel to it, a lighter weight, and it doesn't have that real... You can't even hear it. The ratchets, anybody that's got the ratcheted arms on a Hot Toys figure knows how sturdy those things feel and how tight those ratchets are. This has ratcheting, but it definitely, you can feel the cheaper quality. So when everybody talks about like, is InArt the next best thing? It's like, no, this really...
Wait, you got to be very careful with what you say on my channel, because don't be a peasant.
Yeah, well, look, they're great at what they do, but they've got steps they've got to take, and the sculpt in the hair is what sells the thing. Everything else is Hot Toys can do, and now we'll see with Artisan if Hot Toys can keep up with that. But that's really the only thing that really puts them anywhere near being better than a Hot Toys figure. I do understand how sometimes Hot Toys, being the mass marketer that they are, they might make some parts plastic that could be leather or something, and that's what InArt's trying to do here. But having this thing in hand, I'm telling you, they're not doing anything different than anybody else. Mm-hmm. It's just, so I think them coming in with their prices a little high kind of screwed us all in the end. But am I happy I have it? Yes. Would I buy more? Yes, I am. I'll buy the whole Lord of the Rings line. Hopefully they're still a new company. Hopefully they fix some of these small things as we go. I'm happy with this thing, but it's not the Hot Toys killer. Hot Toys is still the king. And they have their place too. The two can coexist.
Correct. Question for you. How do you feel about, since the Joker, which was their first figure, having issues with their bases, this is, I want to say their fourth figure now with that Gandalf?
No, this is their second.
Oh, wait, so it was more than that, because you have Joker, you have Batman, you have Gandalf.
This was the second one they came out with. They come out with the Joker, this, Pennywise, Batman.
Well, Pennywise came out second, because I got Pennywise long time ago.
Yeah, but didn't he come out third? He did. I mean, he was.
Well, I got Pennywise
Not come out.
over a year ago because he came out before Gandalf, obviously.
This says AO2, so I believe that's the second in the line. Does your Joker say AO1?
Oh, I don't know, but my point is the Pennywise. The Pennywise would be what? If I got my Pennywise before you got this, what does that mean?
Spec fiction sucks.
Oh, so it's only for shipping. For you only got
No, it might have been. They might have just taken longer with one and not the other. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it was 2 and 3, but even so, it's one of the first three figures.
I'm only saying that because, like I said, it was Joker. Then obviously I got the Joker. Then I got the Pennywise, which was the second in line, which is why I have it. And then I thought Gandalf, and then the Batman. So it's already been 4, right? We're up to 4.
Aragorn was in there before Batman, even, I think.
Okay, so there you go. So 5. So now my point is, how do you feel about the fact that, still, let's say this is the second figure with that base. Now, before it was the Joker's falling. Now this one's not even grabbing. How do you feel about that? Like,
no, it grabs just fine, but what I'm showing you is the magnets are not strong enough to hold the weight of the base, and the base is not that heavy. So, look, I've got a Bela Lugosi caustic plastic and a Nosferatu that are both magnetic bases, and those things have had 0 problems. And if I pose this guy standing straight up and down and he's not like balancing on one foot, I can't anticipate, unlike what Talon said, that maybe, something gives, like his ankles get weak. I think it's more an issue of the figure than it is the bases. But I don't have those figures, so I can't speak on that.
Right. Well, so no, that was my question because,
I have no fear of this right now. That's what I can say about it.
Gotcha.
I have 0, and I live by like when trains go, I have a train track that's not too far from here, and when it goes by you can get like tremors in the house. So it's like we'll know in a week if this thing falls over. If not, it's never going to fall over.
And I think you're not going to have an issue with that figure. Number one, it's a very small figure, a very small body. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, and because of the fact that it's short, center of gravity is that much better, going against like a Joker that's a little bit taller, or a Pennywise that obviously this one was tiny, but
like,
that's what I mean.
The joints are all good, everything's tight. It's just cheaper feeling like how do I describe it? Like if you have like a G.I. Joe Classified and then you get a Super 7. Super 7's plastic feels cheaper. Something about it doesn't have the weight. Weight is a thing. It's a real thing.
Especially at that price point. At those price points, 300 plus.
Well, it's density. It's density of the material. It's why your Colossus leaks and a Hot Toys one doesn't, because it's more, the material's better.
Will says, Hono is like, see, we don't need no stinking magnets. Yeah, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? So you need the whole of 4 figures to be an inner veteran. It means his Gandalf came on a rowboat.
Yeah, it did, really.
So if anybody's waiting for their in-art Batman, Kit just put that they got their first allotment. It's only 10%, but that means it is starting to actually go out to people, not just bloggers.
Oh, there you go, guys. So your new peasant Batman's coming out. Sounds like a Joker J needs time sabotage the train track. Kidding, NSA. This guy can't have the train.
I've been here for 10 years and nothing's fallen over yet, so I think I'm all right.
Oh my God.
Do a Snidely whiplash out there and tie somebody to the tracks.
Did anybody here order that Batman?
No.
Besides Nefty? No?
People in the chat might.
How much did you pay for that Batman?
$389.
You got which one, the double pack or just the single?
Oh, just a single.
Why didn't you get the double pack? You didn't like the
No, I don't like Bruce Wayne. I don't like.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I just went with the Batman. I got the Hot Toys one as well, but I went with the lowest package of the Batman that they had in art.
All right, guys. So obviously, last but not least, your favorite. We're gonna do the figure of the week. This is this is the most fun.
Is this your wheel of stuff?
Absolutely. Don't you ever disrespect the wheel, okay?
I swear to God, I get third-party female again.
We're all gonna get it. DC female, third-party female.
All right, so let's go. So this one is going to be for William. Let's go from the bottom up. William first. DC male. Look at that. All right, we got DC male for William. Let's do Nefty. Oh, DC female. You jinxed it, William.
You know what? Just take that off the wheel. Just take it off.
Oh, look what you got. Third party female, your favorite.
Who did?
You.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, man.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
I'm just gonna pull out a figure, okay? Because this wheel is bullshit.
The wheel's rigged.
This wheel is bullshit.
You're a wheel denier.
Jay, you got other IP. So whatever you want.
I mean,
that is not Marvel, DC, obviously. And then my turn.
You know what? My figure identifies as female.
Oh man. And I got Marvel female. All right. So I'll go get mine. I'll be right back. Marvel female. Marvel female. Let's see. Who's a Marvel female? All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go with you, Nefty, first, since you're at the bottom right.
DC female. I went with the only Harley Quinn version that I own from the
Arkham.
Yep, from the Arkham. I didn't realize, man, this girl has a rack, bro. I just realized that now. But yeah,
Luch, it's nice to meet you, Luch.
but I mean, this particular figure came with a lot of accessories. Man.
Yes, a bunch of
and
stuff.
I went right now to pick her up. I was like, I have it all spread out in the module case. And I was like, wow. But yeah, this is it.
Yeah, put it on the screen. You're like hiding the figure.
Oh, sorry.
So you have her. How do you have her standing? What base?
I have it on the base that it came with all the accessories down on the ground.
I
did this. I have her with the
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, Jack in the Box. But next to there's two types of Arkham Batman that I have. I have the first one, and I guess one is called the Prestige.
Yes, the gold one. The gold one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those figures they can't articulate for shit, but they're nice, you know.
But they're beautiful figures.
Yeah. Yep.
William,
What?
who'd you get?
DC male. So over
I know,
here.
I know you got Bloodsport. I know that's what you're getting. Oh wait, I never knew you got that guy.
Is that lit up?
Wait,
nice.
Wait,
it's my wife's favorite Batman villain.
Question for you: is that the third party one, the Eternal one?
Yes.
Wow.
And it comes lit up like that, or you did that?
I did that.
Wait, so you put LEDs in there and everything?
What's that?
You put the LEDs in and everything?
Yep.
Of course he did.
That's sick. I thought he came pre-lit.
His helmet is supposed to light up, but mine didn't work, so I just added my own LEDs to his head, his chest, his biceps, and his thighs.
That nice. Also, I didn't even know it had a light up function, to be honest.
Yeah, it's supposed to have this like stupid little battery thing in the helmet, but that didn't work for me.
Now, how is the scale on that? Is it like 14 inches or is it like your standard 12?
Now he's like if you see him next to Indiana Jones, Indy's up on
he looks thicker.
Arnold looks thicker.
Yeah, like he looks, bulkier as a figure.
Well, yeah. Well, Indy's up on a base that has him up higher, but
so he is tall. Look at that.
So he's a decent size. But yeah, Evie, that's for whatever reason Batman and Robin as her favorite Batman movie, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the villain that she remembers from when she was younger. So I got this for her and then wired it up just to make it a little bit nicer.
No, that's beautiful. I didn't even know you had that. See, this is what I mean, guys. I talk to William every day. I don't even know what he collects.
It's because you don't look at the pictures that I post with my collection.
Oh, you're right. No, you're 100% right, because you post in every other group except mine. So
when's Cocaine Chewy going up for pre-order? Or I mean, if you're willing to sell the prototype, I am dead effing serious. I will buy that.
He has that thing in the storage unit right now, laying sideways because he's not even bothering with it.
I want it. I really want it.
It's a one of one that Mike wants. It's one of one.
One of one. Michael, who'd you get?
I got DC female. Or what did I get?
Yeah, I think so.
Does it matter?
Oh, what is that?
That is a female.
Oh no! Look, the belt's falling off now.
That is.
No, he's just.
I got third party something. So
that's how females wear their belts.
I might have showed this stupid thing before.
Guy, unbelievable. Wait, well, what figure is that?
Red Sun Superman.
Oh, but that's a custom.
No, it's not.
They Sideshow made that?
No. Yeah, it's custom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the Sideshow Superman head sculpt. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
Sure is.
No, that looks really nice though. I like the flag. Represent China.
Buy it. I'm selling it.
Why is he representing China? And then we have
that's Russia.
I know. Relax. And then we got Jay. Last but not
those things
least.
are cool. You guys always got the sickest weird thing.
Says the guy with Queen Amidala up on the shelf. Unreal.
Oh, that's nice.
Wait, Jay, did you see did you guys get the link to the movie?
Yes, that's why I pulled them out. I'm very excited. And you know who's Nosferatu is the guy that played Pennywise.
Oh, is it?
I believe so. Skarsgård, right?
Yes, that is true. Wait,
so he's going to make a beautiful version of this with his weird looking head. He's got that weird head.
Explain what the movie's going to be about if you know.
It's the first vampire, the first Dracula.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah. This was the black and white with no before they had sound.
Right. That I remember.
But not was. Right, German film, the first Dracula.
We got OG fan in the house. Welcome.
Konnichiwa means what's up?
Oh, look at that. I haven't seen him in forever.
She-Hulk blogger photos released. So you know what that means. She is finally out. So let's get to it before we get
I'm looking at it right now.
That is
She-Hulk.
insane. Let's see She-Hulk in action. Oh, look at that. Already looks funky.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Funky.
Oh, the old switcheroo.
Oh, no.
Brass monkey.
Guys. So it looks like already the face has some weird texture. Here we have some, look at that. What is going on?
What is going on there?
Oh no, wait a minute. The body looks great, but that face, that expression, I don't know about that. That looks like somebody painted her face green and left it like that. Because look at the lips, you know? Oh no.
Explain to me why this is bad. I didn't watch the show.
Well, no, it's not that it's bad. It's just the figure. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the show. The figure.
No, I know. I'm saying, explain to me what's bad. Does this not look like the prototype?
Well, I don't like the way this paint application looks on the face. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. It looks off 100%. And like I said, it looks like somebody literally painted just her face green, because if you look at the eyes, they don't look like they belong with this face. You know what I mean? So I hope, like I said, obviously I'm getting this absolutely, but this is, look at this up close. You're going to tell me this is a 10? Absolutely not. And again, it looks funky because of the eyes. Look how they're turned. Look how they look weird. And that's my thing with these rolling eyes. That's why I don't touch them. But how do you guys feel about this? Let's go. William, what do you – did he leave? William, how do you feel about this already?
No.
You're not getting this?
No,
Oh, you didn't like the show? You didn't like the torque?
the show is actually kind of fun,
Oh, you like the torque?
but y'all hate everything.
No, that's just me.
Y'all sounds like a lot of people, okay?
Konnichiwa, bitch.
Oh man. So what would you rate this right now if you're so in love with it?
I'd say like an 8. I'm not in love with it.
He's
You can
like,
clearly tell it's She-Hulk looking at it, you know. Do they have a picture of her standing next to Daredevil by chance, height-wise?
let's find out. I mean, she's gonna be huge. Look how cross-eyed she looks here. Look at that cockeyed. This eye's all the way over here, and this I'm telling you that rolling eye stuff. I don't know, man. Let me see if they paired her next to anybody. It doesn't look like they did at all. And it looks like we're not even going to be able to get to all the. Oh, here it is. Holy crap! She's humongous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be sexy as hell, though, having them together next to each other.
Well, you know, they banged on the show, so.
Yep.
Yeah, the walk of shame.
That's where the Hulk's son came from. We have so yeah, look at the texture. This is like killing me right now. Look at it looks like she had like acne scars. Obviously, you know, again, it's the camera, it's all this stuff, so don't freak out. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Nefty, how do you feel?
I'll say 8. Getting this figure, so it's the only She-Hulk we're ever gonna get.
Right. Most likely. They canceled what, season 2, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, they canceled season 2.
This is probably the only She-Hulk we're ever get.
Yep. And I'm telling you, this figure, I don't, you know, I doubt they made 60,000. So we have to see how long, you know, how many years she stays sitting around for, because you know, I don't know how popular she's going to be. Again, obviously, whoever loves her is going to get her. I'm going to get her. Same thing Will said. I watched the show. I didn't have a problem with the show, even though it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the best show in the world. You know, we got a bunch of characters on the show. One of them was Abomination, which was a completely different style of Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie, but he was still on there. And the fact that he was able to, you know, he's at a point where he could just transform whenever he wants. I thought that was cool, a cool part of the story. But as you can see, she's humongous. She looks really, really good next to Daredevil as well. But that you know, that face is killing me. Michael, how do you feel about this?
I'm with you, and I feel like that paint amp is off on that face. I don't like the expression too much there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do like these expressions, right? We always say like we want Hot Toys to do expressions, but there's a reason why they don't.
Right.
It's like as soon as you do a little tiny smirk or a frown, like you kind of get this goofiness, right? She's doing a little bit of a smirk, and it doesn't look that great.
Jay.
That's a lot of plastic hair. I didn't watch this show. I don't give a crap. But I might get her because the She-Hulk would be interesting to have if she had a different outfit. I'd prefer like a half shirt and ripped jeans. This is like She-Hulk going to the racquetball club. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's not meant for me, and it's not working on me
At all.
Yeah, I never enjoyed this thing. From the minute they put it out, I was like not interested. That's why I couldn't even tell that it's a downgrade, because I care that little about this character. Like I said, if they put her in jeans and a t-shirt, I would be interested, because it's an interesting character to have. I have She-Hulk in other things.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Yeah, that I think that you think the outfit would have changed how she's perceived as a figure.
I think so, but I didn't watch the show. I don't even know. Why did she have this outfit? I have no idea, because the show was so horrendous. I was like, no, thank you.
Oh my God, Ask Chase in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Konnichiwa means what's up?
He says they wanted to put She-Hulk in Deadpool 3. Oh, so that's a possibility too. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of cameos, so that would be. I wouldn't be shocked at that. What do you guys think?
Make it cooler than this.
She took a bath.
She listened. Well, I mean, if that's a possibility, you know, if that's an option, right? If she does appear, then they could they could probably reuse this head sculpt and give us a different outfit, which will most likely be the case if, you know, she appears in the movie. And if they decide if it's worth it to reuse, which I can tell you, this is the very first time and the only time for this body use, right? So there's no other figures out there that require this tall ass green body. So what does that mean? They'll most likely reuse this so it's not a complete waste, guaranteed. And remember, they tend to use reuse a lot of stuff. That Nosferatu is awesome person. One Savage. Jim says she wasn't meant for any of us.
Yeah.
She actually had a ton of screen time, and they cut most of it out. She's big mad at Disney and Ryan. Oh, wow. I didn't know that at all. So, I mean, I think if that did happen, I can guarantee you it was because of how she was perceived on the show. They figured she wasn't a big hit on the show. So that's why, number one, we're canceling season 2.
Now she talked shit about Disney's CEO.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that. What she said, you know?
She did an interview and she said a lot of not nice things about him and Disney's politics or whatever. And then it was just like, well, insult your boss and see what happens.
Oh, man, it sounds so communist. And Zach says She-Hulk ain't done just the show. Correct. So the show, they denied, you know, they I guess they canceled season 2. I think she's going to appear in some movies. She has to, like we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. But I think in the future as well, because she's supposed to be the new Hulk, right? The Professor Hulk is done, right? His arm has been burnt off or whatever. So he's not going to appear anywhere else. So she's the
No, his arm is fixed if you watch the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But I'm talking about Endgame when he burned his arm. But the point is, you know, she's supposed to be continuing as the Hulk with the new Avengers, right? With all the new people coming in, Kate Bishop, Ironheart, She-Hulk. Who else is in there?
No, those are supposed to be the young Avengers. And She-Hulk's not part of that.
So who was the new Avengers?
New Avengers is different than Young Avengers.
Right. So who's the new Avengers? So She-Hulk,
like Falcon as Captain America.
Falcon.
You know, it's all the people that are still making movies right now. That would
She-Hulk is part of the new Avengers, not the Young Avengers.
Right.
Asher says Nathan. What did Nathan said? Oh, that's what he said. Brad says the actress is a radical nut. She-Hulk is the 15th release in June and the 57th release for 2024. My God, are you keeping track of all this, Nightmare?
That is insane.
Are you like? I was gonna say, are you writing this down like on a list? Because that's hard.
It's all up here. No list.
It's all up here.
Wait, what was that number again? 54?
57 for 2024.
57
figures for 2024. That's about right.
I mean, hold on. What number is that? Come on, calculator. What do you think an average figure is? $200?
No,
300.
275 average.
275 is the average?
Wow, yeah.
So what is that number? If you bought every figure of that
the 57
and bought ones for every look.
275 times what was the number? 57. You would have spent $15,675 through half of the year.
Oh, that's peasant change. We have he says I have tracked since 2018. My God, that's hardcore.
Good job, brother. I'd like to see those stats. That's awesome.
That's insane. Mine, that is insane. No, that's crazy. I never knew that you were doing that. That's hardcore. At least, I mean, it's a great thing to do because you at least know, you know, you can keep track of how many figures Hot Toys is doing per year, how much they increase per year, how many more figures, you know, come out per year, every year. So that is a really, really
You
good
don't have an Excel spreadsheet of your figures, Fabs?
Absolutely not. For what? I would never, waste time doing.
You know what? I thought about insuring my collection once, so you had to basically
Correct.
list it, and that's why I have a list, or had a list at one point that covered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I would never. And the only reason why the list that I have now is just a note on my Notepad app that says what my collection is up to at the moment, what the last figure I opened was, so I could keep track of what I have in my collection that way. But besides that, I don't keep track of how many what figures I got, when I bought. Absolutely not. And even when I thought about insuring the collection, one of the reasons was I was like, how would they even, find this out? And they were like, oh, well, you got to go, count the figures, find out the price, give us a receipt. I was like, get the hell out of here. You're not going to cover anything anyway. So why would I bother doing all that work for you when, God forbid, anything happens? What are you going to say? Oh, here's $1,000.
No, they do cover. Like the one insurance company that does it, like they'll cover you for like the first claim. But if you ever file a claim, they drop you. You're done. You're not insured with them anymore.
Yeah, that's why and I understand the insurance game, right? They're there to make money, not to cover our stuff. Right. So I'm going to be paying monthly for whatever they decide to charge me to cover my collection, when my goal is to obviously, things happen and you can't control them. But obviously, I'm not looking for anything to happen to me or the collection. So that's why I'm not going to bother with more money monthly. For what? To give it away to the insurance company? Absolutely not. So that's my mentality. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with insuring your collection, because I want to make that clear. People do insure their collections. That's their own prerogative. That's their own right. If that's how they feel safe, that's perfectly fine. I chose not to do that. I don't feel it's necessary. I don't need to do that. I never thought about it, because I'm like, they're toys. And yes, I've spent tons and tons of money. So somebody, people over the years, why would you not insure them, blah, blah, because it's not that serious for me. You know what I mean? God forbid, like I said, anything happens. If whatever happened, guess what? It was meant to happen, and there's nothing I can do. Right? So that's how I live my life. That's how I think about things. And so to go spend more money out of pocket to give it to an insurance company that already has billions and billions of dollars, again, for what? So that's why I didn't bother. That's why I didn't bother at all. Let me see what you guys are saying. And then wait, I didn't show you guys my figure, peasant.
Like think about it. What if your pool burst and flooded your basement?
Well, number one, that would never happen because it's a fiberglass pool. So we made sure of that. Obviously, let's say hypothetical, God forbid that happens. What the hell am I going to do?
We would file like an insurance claim to cover all your figures.
No, that's the thing. That's my point. Anything can happen. God forbid a fire, a boiler fire.
Right.
Things happen. And I know that. But obviously, I don't think about those things like constantly. Like, oh, what if? What? Like, no. Like again, if it happened with.
Collectively, let's be honest. Collectively, it's besides your home, it's probably one of your biggest assets. Would you not agree? Your collection collectively.
When it comes to the amount of money I've spent, yes. When it comes to value overall, like this is what I value the most from my life, absolutely not. You know what I mean? That's why to me it's not necessary to go out of my way to go insuring, because again, this is just a hobby. This is not my retirement. This is, what I mean? This is just my hobby. This is just toys. These are just figures. That's how I look at them. That's how I see it. Right? If it was like gold, if these things were like, had gold plating or, it was something like that, then that's a different story. God forbid they get stolen. God forbid, then that's a completely different conversation. But even if, every single figure was $600 and I have over 1,300 at this point, that's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be, let me insure it because that's just my mentality. And again, I'm not saying that anybody's wrong for insuring their collection. That's just how I see it.
Tell us the damn figure.
Hypocritical because I should insure my collection. I do believe that. I don't. I looked into it. I don't do it. But if you look at you and I, Fabs, we should be insuring our collection. It kind of is stupid that we don't. I'll fully admit it. But I mean, if you have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in figures. Again, right? A fire, a flood, a tornado. Yeah, I mean,
right. And that's what I don't think about it at all. I don't. Again, anything can happen at any moment, and if it happens, it happens. It is what it is. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. And so let me show you guys my figure real quickly, and then we're out of here, guys. So this was my Marvel female. This is the Social Toys Warhead that I told you guys. This was my very first Social Toys figure that I purchased.
You're gonna get demonetized,
and it's okay. And so, as you can see, beautiful head sculpt. She's got the piercing.
Pretty good.
She got absolutely. This is why I started buying Social Toys even after what's his name? Kitchen said that he wasn't supporting them just because look at that. She is perfect. She is beautiful. Everything about her is insane. The outfit, very basic, nothing fancy, but it looks great. She's got more booty than Captain Marvel. And so look at all that. So everything about her is just very, very decent for what it is. And so ever since this figure came out, that's when I became a fan of Social Toys overall. And I've been buying everything from them that obviously belongs in my collection, that I like, that I would like to have in my collection. So that's why this is the figure that got me into buying all the Social Toys figures that I have in my collection at the moment. Because before that, you guys know the story. I wasn't buying anything because number one, Kitchen doesn't carry Social Toys because of the issue that he had with them, or his friend had with them, and then just out of loyalty, he decided I'm not going to carry that because you're my friend and they stole from you, blah blah blah. So as a customer, I said, all right, well, you know what? And because not really being involved in that, I said I'm not even going to bother with this company if that's the type of company that they are. Years go by. This figure came out, and I was like, "There's no way that I'm going to miss out on this figure when it's great with with Deadpool," and that was the beginning of everything.
You're like, all that shit I said before, forget it.
Well, no, it was years. No, it was years. It was years later. It wasn't like when he told me and I was like, "Oh, no." I missed out on a ton of flashes. I missed out on a bunch of what was that? What was that? That show with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Defenders. So they made pretty much what was it? The Lawyer. They made the Blind Daredevil. They made Iron Fist. They made all these guys. I don't own a single one of them because for those years I wasn't buying Social Toys. The moment this one came out, I was like, wait a minute. And because Deadpool was hot at the time, I was like, I have to get this figure. Let me tell you something. I've been buying every single Social Toys figure, that belongs in my collection ever since this one because it was just that great. Let's see who else is in here, and then we get out of here. I have an Excel that tracks every aspect of my collection from the day I buy it, payments paid off, shipped, date received, etc. The more you know. My God, you guys are hardcore.
Hey, speaking of cataloging, right? That type of thing. I saw these. I got to give a shout out to Boston Collector because I saw it on his channel. It's something I was thinking about. But these cases, it's like a gun case, but it comes with the perforated. These are perforated, so you can pull out whatever size you need. I'm going to fill these cases with all of my sculpts that are not being used.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
so then I'm going to have
people want to Google that. It's called pool pluck foam.
What is it called? Full pluck?
Pool pluck.
Pull pluck. Yes, you're right. That's what it said on the thing. So I'm going to put all the heads in those so I can display those just kind of to people when they're over. I'm going to take all the accessories, put them in bins, catalog them all, and then I'm taking all those boxes and I'm going to flatten out the ones I can. Clamshells are going in the garbage, and we're getting rid of all that crap. And I'm going to keep whatever I can of the boxes, but if I flatten them out, I can get them in some storage bins and save like a ton of space. But I think I'm finally making the move and squashing these boxes down. I'm never going to resell this shit. There's no point in even worrying about it. Like Fab said, if something happens in the future, I'll deal with it then. But I'm keeping this stuff till the grave, and boxes are just taking up way too much space.
I can't bring myself to do it. I can't get rid of my boxes.
That's why I said I couldn't throw them out either. So I was like, well, flatten them out. I've done it with other stuff. Some of them you won't be able to you maybe have to cut out the front and maybe throw away the sides or something. But I'll keep enough of them that it'll make me happy. But it'll take up zero space compared to what I already have.
Right.
And then
So we're gonna take the plunge.
I actually have those too. They're called Pelican cases. So they make these bigger ones for like cameras and like movie equipment, sound equipment, and from like my statue head sculpts, right? Because some of these statues that I have come with second, third head sculpts. I throw them in that foam in those Pelican cases. Same thing with but Hot Toy parts. I don't think I put anything in those in foam yet.
I was gonna initially just do like a display case with all the heads because I'm like I paid for these things. Why not display them?
Yeah.
But I like this better. This is neat. I can bring them out whenever I want. I can show everybody. Look, there's 32 heads in here. Look at the things that I don't have displayed. That kind of stuff.
Makes sense. I like it. I like that. I think that's a good way to do it.
Nathan says, great discussion, guys. This is the 1/16 scale collector show that doesn't get by on just the figure of the week or unboxings reviews. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Also the Thor, thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here as always. Have a great weekend. Jay, are you expecting anything? Did you order anything? Are you waiting for anything?
I got 2 now. Is it Death Troop? What are the black troopers with the silver eyes and the red backdrop? I got 2 of those coming. Spider-Man just came in, the red and blue with the jazzercise pants.
Oh, you got them already? Mine's delayed until Monday, man.
Thanos, I finally got me a Thanos, and I forgot how big he is until I saw the box, and I was like, holy crap, he's as big as Carnage.
Yeah, he's
huge.
Yeah,
so I got him. I got Gandalf. I got Iron Man. Mark III is right there. So I'm pretty happy right now. There's a lot of stuff coming in, a lot of bills coming in too, but it's coming in at a nice steady pace where I'm kind of handling things. Can you see him over there?
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a nice pose.
Let me
So why no head sculpt? You don't care for it?
Nope. I don't want. I didn't buy Robert Downey Jr. I bought Iron Man. That's why Robert Downey Jr. is going in the box of heads.
Gotcha. Michael, anything? Did you open anything this week? Are you
Didn't open anything, but all my stuff came in. So my Wonder Woman, my Tony Stark. What do they call them? Look how long that box is. You see this thing?
Wait, which one's that one?
Iron Man, the mech test one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. I mean, that's like the longest Hot Toys box I've ever seen in my life. That Spider-Man came in with the base.
What, the light blue and red suit?
The one with the head sculpt, the hard head, and the best head sculpt that of all the Wonder Womans. What else came in?
The Tom Holland one you're talking about.
I thought we were talking about Wonder Woman.
I thought you were talking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is the Tom Holland with the big base. That came in.
Right, with the chimney base, with the chimney looking base.
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet.
Okay.
And then the Wonder Woman is the 84. And I got that Iron Man 3. I was lucky to grab that Iron Man 3. That came in. But I haven't opened it. But but I haven't opened really anything. This is definitely probably next on the list. We should probably do an unboxing one of these days. I always say that.
Yeah, you always say that, but you never do it.
This came in too. This is probably a Cote purchase. What is this one? This is Dark Knight Returns. It's an SSR Black DX. So what did I buy there? That was a
Batman.
Dark Knight, like a Dark Knight. It must be like a Dark Knight Batman.
It's
like with the fat
Batman
logo, I think, right? Blue and gray, but with the black and gray, but with the fat logo, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think it came like with an old head sculpt, like from the comic book, like the unmasked older version head sculpt.
Oh my god. Loco Lou in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see ya.
Konnichiwa means what's up?
Loco Lou. Yeah, I got the Gotham by Gaslight SSR, so I'd be curious to see yours and compare the two someday.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's got boxes back there not open. He's got a whole stack
Dude,
of like.
if I had to count them right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
I feel like I'm kindergarten.
Like 37
Unopened.
See,
this is when you get to a level of collecting where it's like, why do you even want to collect anymore? You're just collecting boxes, not figures. When are you opening 37 boxes? Never.
Look at this is why they're not being opened, because I'm in a stage where like I am.
He's buying just in case, but will most likely end up selling them anyway.
I'm buying if it's a good deal, right? If it's a good deal, and I'm like, really want that in my collection, I'm buying it. But I look at when you have 3 kids, man, you don't have the time sometimes to get down here to open these things. So
yeah, adoption is very important sometimes. So Nathan says, those SSR figures are really cool. I am guessing that's the 2.0 Dark Knight. I have the 1.0. I absolutely love it. Yeah, SSR
he's got that.
Is crazy to me. I think those prices are ridiculous for those types of Batmans. I understand, I get it, but it's like, yo, $700 for a fat Batman. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think I paid that much.
No, not that
no
way.
Way.
They have made some going for $500 to $700, and I'm like,
I think they caught a lot of flack for that though, and that's why they lowered the prices. I read somewhere.
Well, I only saw one at that price, and I was like, are they crazy? I was like, what the hell? And people bought that like it was going out of style. I was like, who the hell is spending this much money on these SSR figures? Apparently a lot of people. It wasn't me. And then Local says, send me your boxes. I'll open them. make videos for Mike too. Imagine. Local will make your videos, Mike.
Well, he's got time, right?
Take the kids for a ride, said Brad. All right, guys. So we're out of here. As always, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.